Yeah, I just came back from doing a ship.
You're getting up early.
Yeah. Yeah, I woke up at 5:30 this morning.
You're getting up early. I did. I got up at 5 and went back to sleep.
Rid of these damn emojis.
Daryl and his other brother Daryl. Edwin.
Okay, I think we're pretty much set up and ready to rock and roll.
Yeah, I
Justin,
rocked and rolled last night.
What's that?
It was 5 minutes after midnight when I finished printing.
Ah.
And then I printed this for the fellas, right? And the top wouldn't go on. So
Daryl Edward.
It wouldn't fit. So I stretched it out a little bit, printed it while I was sleeping, came back, it was too big.
Good morning, Daryl Edward and Mark R. White. How you doing?
Mark. So now I've got to print again a little bit less. See if I can get it to slide on. But the guy who ever put it on there, they don't fit. So Mark. And then my son gets up and he says, "You know what you did last night, right?" I said, "No, what'd I do?" He goes, "Go look on the sofa in the front." I walked up front and I got the gate up. Everything's locked. I look up front and Tino's laying on the sofa. I done locked him up front last night.
He locked him out.
Yeah. But he was sitting up. He was like, "Oh, let me tell you, you know how you miss something like a video or a short?
Yeah.
I missed the best short in the world. And it's just, I didn't even think about doing it. But if I'd came up with my phone and put it on him, he was wagging his tail like that. He was all happy to see me, right? Cleo comes up, runs up front, looks at him, got in his face, nose to nose, and started biting at him and growling at him for not being in the back all night. like where you been all night? You been cheating on me or something like that?
He's scolding him, yeah.
And she went off on him. And he's sitting there like this, and she's like right here on him, and he goes with his paw and just pushes her away. And I said, "God, that's the video right there. That'll went viral."
So he got to spend the night all alone.
Oh, he didn't mind because he's got a paper up here. The only thing he couldn't do is get a drink of water.
Yeah.
You know, but he looked like he said, "Shoot, leave me up here at night."
Did after the commotion was over, did he head for the water dish or what?
He actually went to the paper in the kitchen, went to the bathroom. I never saw him go get water, but he probably did. Lance, what's up?
Hey, Joe. Hey, Paul.
Hey, Lance.
Hi, Lance.
And Mark. Hey, tell me when you want me to tell you about the baseball game. I'll wait for you guys to finish talking about it.
Tell us about the baseball game.
Tell me. I'm waiting.
So the other team basically dominated the game the first 4 innings, but the score remained 0-0. They had guys on base almost every. In fact, 3 of the 4 innings they had guys on base, at least 2 guys on base, and it didn't look good for the Mudville 9.
Yeah.
My shortstop ran a ball down that no other shortstop in the state could get in foul territory. Caught it with guys on second and third, no outs. The guy on third did not tag and did not score, so the score remains 0-0. But I have never seen a play like that by a shortstop in high school. We score one in the our catcher doubles to lead off the fifth, gets sacrificed over to third, and then scores on an error to make it 1-0 Silas. In the sixth inning, we get an insurance run to make it 2-0. In the seventh inning, the other team comes up. The shortstop ranges to his left, lays out. I mean, dives major league style, stops the ball, gets up from his knees and guns the guy out at first base. We end up winning 2-0. Great high school baseball game. Amazing. I think the other team's pitcher was better than ours, but we just got to him in the fifth and the sixth inning. But other than that, we didn't do much.
That's a good game.
I would say the other guy, and I didn't count, but I would say he had 10 strikeouts in 7 innings. But we managed to squeak out 2 runs to win it. So we move on in state, and we will play again this weekend.
Yep. Well, the last game I shot at Mandeville, Mandeville won it 1-0, and a 2-hit 1-0 shutout of the other team. No run, no hit shutout. The guy he would have had a perfect game, the pitcher for Mandeville, if he wouldn't have walked the guy in the 7th inning. He walked him with 1 out. He walks the guy, and the guy gets on first, and they wound up picking him off because he tried to steal, and then he threw the last out, so he got a no-hitter, and we won it 1-0. And the pitcher for the other team had I think it was a 2-hitter going. So that was a tough game. And they had a foul ball way back against the wall, against the right field side, against the wall facing outside the stadium, not the home run wall. And all 3 of them went running after it, and the second baseman went sliding and came up with it sliding backwards.
Yeah, when you get scores like that, those are great high school baseball games for sure.
Yeah, that's the ones I don't mind staying for.
I turned into a fan in the 7th inning. I wish I would have got the guy's dive to his left, but again, I was more of a fan at that point, cheering us on.
Yeah, you gotta be ready to shoot any picture at any time. A lot of times I watch the games through the viewfinder.
Yep, I normally do too. I thought, okay, we're up 2-0. I'm just gonna be a fan.
Well, yeah, I probably missed the picture of the year. Picture of the year. This it wasn't last game. It was the game before. Mandeville's players running down to first base. And it's the 3rd out of the inning, going down to first base. I don't need a first base picture. So I take my hands off the camera, right? Take my hands off the camera as the throw is behind, and you got to pay attention to what they're doing. The throw's behind first base. So the first baseman's now got to reach back, and he's in line with the baseline. And that's when you're thinking collision, right? And what happens is he reaches to get it, as he reaches, stretches, Mandeville's players running full speed, he just jumps completely over the guy. Because he was thrown out. As soon as they called him out, he was like 2 steps away. Instead of running into him, he just jumped completely over his head. You know?
Wow.
And if I'd have got that shot of him jumping over this player, it could have probably been picture of the year. And I'm just sitting there like a fan, not taking a picture. And I had 3 parents say, "Did you get that shot?" I went, "No." I was watching it. And that happens every once in a while.
Yep.
Yeah, you can't. You get involved in in what you're shooting.
Yeah, I was involved in watching it. And as soon as it was hit, I said, because I was looking, they had a man on first base, so I was looking for a pickoff. So as soon as it was hit and he took off, I said, okay, it's third out first base, I don't need to take a picture. That's my thought of it, you know?
Yeah.
If I'd have just hung in there, I didn't expect him to jump over the guy.
What's up, W. Edward? Let's go, guys. Oh, Daryl, I got a creator's code for Fortnite now to get discounts.
Is Justin in now?
Yeah.
Time to leave.
I've been in here since I got here before you did.
Yeah, he was here first thing this morning, but he hasn't had his camera on.
No, I've been working on getting
He's
this
he's
code.
on his sleepy eyes.
I've been adding this code to my channel. I got accepted in the Fortnite's creator thing where I get a code and then you can get discounts if you buy stuff from them. I was waiting the last 2 days for them to get my tax stuff approved. They said it would take a few hours and it ended up taking 2 days. So.
Oh, dear. Well, I did not get my package from Amazon yesterday.
Bill hasn't come up.
Dated today. It says it's out for delivery in Smyrna, Tennessee.
Have you called Amazon about it?
Yeah, they told me it's just that's how they expected delivery as of yesterday, but it said it was in Illinois and it's moving. It's coming my way. And today it's in Smyrna, Tennessee. So
Where is it today?
Smyrna, Tennessee.
Where was it coming from?
Someplace in China.
Yeah.
Where is Smyrna, Tennessee?
It's I think
Smyrna, Tennessee.
It's in Tennessee. Yeah, that's the best way to say it. But if it's in Tennessee, I should have it tomorrow. If it moves,
If it was in Illinois, does that mean it came into Chicago O'Hare?
yeah, it did.
Mm.
'Cause it was
Well,
in
that's
Chicago
the thing.
first.
Has it left Tennessee yet, though?
Not as far as I know.
I don't know if you'd have it tomorrow then. Depending on how fast I get it there.
Yeah,
And they
Seems
have
like
to
they
go
got
through
some-
processing.
they must have gave it to the post office.
They
And the
passed it
last-
off, huh?
Oh, they were ridiculous. See my last update. Last update was at 5:10 a.m. It says Smyrna, Tennessee, out for delivery.
Is Smyrna close to you?
No,
So that's not out for delivery.
no. Yesterday it was in Bensenville, Illinois, out for delivery.
Their
They got the
system's
right
just-
address. It's just,
Yeah, their system is screwed up, just saying it's out for delivery, but it's not.
Yeah, when
Is it-
my boxer came from what's it, Fly High, that came through Chicago.
It should say in transit, not out for delivery.
I think USPS just must use O'Hare all the time.
Yeah, I think that's a big hub for FedEx, UPS, and the post office.
I just got a message on my phone saying my FedEx package is out for delivery today. I don't know of any FedEx package I got coming.
It's going to be delivered by Tornado.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I will get a package and it's gonna be all smashed up and broken. It's gonna be broken with a little slit and they're gonna have it retaped. I'm gonna say, well, this thing's heavy to open up and have about 5 laptops in it.
Yeah, because Jody said that the FedEx thing got wiped out yesterday.
Yeah, that guy Ryan Hall, he was on till midnight last night.
Yeah, he makes
He
some
said, I'll be
damn,
back today.
he makes some damn good money on that channel, I'll tell you what. He
I
gets
was
a
watching
lot of,
people giving him $200-300 in a pop.
yeah, he gets a lot of donations because he donates a lot to storm victims and stuff. He does, and then he has guys that bring in like supplies for people and stuff like that. He uses it obviously to fund his channel and to pay for his salary and all that, but he
Yeah.
does donate a lot of stuff to people. But he does a good job though. I mean, he's better than some of the damn news agencies. Plus, you can get consistent updates from him without getting a
Hey,
bunch of like,
Debia,
Pretty cool.
Daryl, how's it going?
yeah, you don't have to sit through a bunch of commercials and shit with him like a news agency.
My Avada 2 head-on crash went viral. I've got all of 6 views, I think.
That's good. I viewed it.
It's a hot seller right now.
And y'all dangerous. Y'all are chasing each other right next to each other, and then he turned around and looked right back at you.
Yep.
I was waiting
Yep.
for y'all to run into each other again.
Yeah, we're playing follow the leader.
Yeah. It was the blind leading the blind. That's what it was.
That's about what it was too. And he would not go through the rings. He was like, no, I don't have the confidence. And I went through 3 times, crashed 2 times. So I was only 1 for 3.
Precious, it's a
Good shirt.
pigeon. You're not going to catch it.
You should have time stamped it in your thing when it was. Oh,
It's fairly early on.
yeah, it's 1 minute and 28
And then I've got it
seconds.
at the very end as well. I doubled it up.
You guys didn't even hit each other hard enough to knock out there. Just tapped each other.
No, it was more of a, kind of knocked us both off balance. I have not seen his footage yet. I
Yeah,
want
you
him to send it to me.
You just touched tips, that was it.
And we both have our, I have my ND8 filter on there. First time I had put a filter on. I
Actually,
might. Go ahead.
you're up to 29 views and 13
All
likes.
right. One more and it's viral.
Pretty much, yeah.
I'm just driving by a Sonic. I want to go fly the Sonic with my Avada, but I won't today. I've got things to do.
I found my new T-shirt. got a picture of a drone, and on the bottom's got a picture of a cross. And it says, drone flying is another reason Jesus loves me. I got the one that says something about Jesus, and if it involves Jesus and drones, count me in.
That sounds like it could be the fat pastor.
Okay, is this gonna fit? Yeah, that fits good. That'll work. I hate when you download something to print, and then when you print it, it's got a top and a bottom, and it don't fit.
Have you seen the Fat Pastor's channel? Fat spelt P-H-A-T.
This is almost too tight too, but that's good. So Lance, look, this is a case I just printed.
Oh yeah.
Big case, right?
What kind of
You
case?
open it up. Yeah, it's a case, but I'm sure what it's for.
Ooh,
the
nice. Yeah, yeah. Are those
So when I
for the
printed-
Avada?
Yes, Avada too. When
Okay.
I printed the first one, the top wouldn't fit on.
Okay.
So it was too tight, so I had to stretch it out a little.
So where did you get the props?
No, it's just a regular prop that came with it.
Oh, okay.
But they've got a company called Alliance on Amazon.
Yeah.
They have black, orange, red, black, and red blue props.
Okay.
I've actually thought about getting. I've thought about getting white PLA, but then I thought white might not show up enough. But I thought about getting the red and blue props and making it red, white, and blue for the Avada. You know,
I was actually just looking at your coin that you made,
yeah,
Joe. And with
Yeah.
the different colors inside the lettering,
yeah,
it almost gives it like a 3D look when you look at it.
yeah. Look at it.
Like when you turn it, it gives it like a 3D look because you can see the colors inside.
Yeah, look inside the case here. Same thing.
I did try to take it to the pawn shop, but they said it
Yeah.
wasn't worth anything.
Huh.
It's worth. about 20. He said, "I'll take it. Give me $5."
Well, Joe, can you actually print replacement props for your drones?
I wouldn't.
I
No.
wouldn't. I would not.
Not. Well, I wouldn't.
That's the one
print-
thing I'm not worried about. I'm not about to print a prop and have it fail. You know.
That's one thing I haven't seen anybody do because layered material like that, you don't.
Yeah.
The amount of force being created on
Yeah,
those
being
props,
afraid to-
that's
I'd be
not a
afraid to
good
fly.
idea.
They did
Yeah,
have somebody. Who
I
was
wouldn't. I'm sure there's been people out there who've done it, but I wouldn't trust it because you want a prop, you want it molded in one solid piece, not layered because of the amount of
it? I
pressure.
almost
being
want to say it
created.
was Dobo.
But
They
I'm saying,
printed they tried a prop that was a different style prop, and he 3D printed it and put it on a drone. And when it went to take off, they just shattered.
yeah, even if
Yeah.
you printed it out of the strongest material, I still wouldn't trust it. Just for the
Hey,
simple
so
fact
has
that
Master Air Screw released props for the Avada 2 yet?
I haven't seen them. And that's what I'm waiting to see. Because I've got one set of props, and I don't want to buy Alliance if I can get a better prop. You know. That's like the ND filters. I would get Start RC ND filters. I like They were $50 when they first came out. That's how much they wanted for it. Hold on. Alexa, thermostat 72.
Mm.
Getting hot in here. So, but Start RC, I ordered another set of ND filters from a company that was like $25. They're gonna come in next week. Yesterday, Start RC had the props. I mean, I'm saying props again. Had the ND filters for $29. So I jumped on them. So they'll be here Friday. So when the other ones come in, I'll just send them back. But I'd rather Start RC because I think it'll be a better quality.
Yeah, they don't have any,
I'd rather Start RC because I think it'll be a better
nothing
quality.
for, the Avata 2 yet.
Who's that, Mass Aspirin?
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't see any when I looked.
Oh, check this out though. They got a, I mean, I wouldn't buy it only cause, and I don't see how they have on Etsy, somebody's selling. I'm hoping this comes with the lights for that price. Jesus Christ. But it's a 3D print to put 2 of the Arc 5 lights on it.
Yeah, I
But
saw that.
$159?
Hey,
That's
that's
all.
bullshit.
Yeah,
I saw
because-
that yesterday.
Cause those 2 lights are only worth about $60.
Yeah.
And that print is only a couple dollars, so I don't know where they're getting $159 from.
They're overreaching.
That's way overpriced. Like if it came with 4 lights and like 2 prints, I could see that price. But yeah, not.
There'll be somebody that don't care and do it.
Oh, I'm sure he's probably sold some. People don't know. And some people might have the money and it's just a convenience thing. And, you know. But that better be printed, that bracket better be printed out of something else besides PLA, because a couple of brackets I had for holding lights onto the arms of the Air 2 that were made out of
Yeah.
PLA, they all broke within a couple months of taking them off and on. They got fractured really fast. And those were coming from one set I had came from Firehouse themselves. It was a 3D printed brackets, and those broke within 2 months after I had them. They got hairline fractures in them from taking them off and on because they weren't meant to leave them on.
Now you see, these are the ones in PLA. The ones that I did first. If you look at the back, it's just got that little piece like that. That fits over the little groove. Now it's good, but when you're putting it on, you got to be careful not to hit it because you'll break it.
Yeah, you know,
You know,
people are selling those for $30 or $40 on Etsy.
It's gonna fly. Gonna fly. That best drone in the world.
Look at what Daryl put in the chat though. Look, people are selling those same exact prop guards or
These?
the bumpers. Look at that for fucking $40 for a set.
No, that's the lights.
Oh, okay. I thought that was the bumpers.
Yeah, that's the regular bumpers on it.
I was looking up here. That's why I assumed it was bumpers.
Yeah.
Yeah, the lights. What do you need
Still,
those
a lot
for
of people
though?
paying 20 for that price. Shoot, you know how long it took me? It took me 2 hours to print these right here.
Why would you put lights on your Avata anyway? What would be the point of that? What do you need that for?
I wouldn't do it.
I guess unless you were like exploring caves with it or something like that. Like
Yeah,
if you were
and then
going
you
in
got
a
a bigger
cave or
problem
something,
too.
but
Those down sensors, when those down sensors can't read, it starts spinning.
like I said, unless you were going into like a dark building or something like that, or you were doing some kind of exploration for it with it, I don't see the point in having 2 big ass flashlights on the side of that thing.
Yep. Now I could see charging $20 for these, and when somebody orders it, just print one. You know.
Yeah. You know, there's no reason to print them ahead of time because you might not sell them.
Yeah.
So you wait till you get an order and then you spend a couple hours of printing them. And the very next day you could have them shipped off. So,
Or what you do is print like like 3 colors, different colors. So you got an option, and that way you've got one of each done, and you can see which one sells the most, and maybe print a couple of them a day.
oh yeah, you
Just
could
in
print
case.
one of each color as a showpiece to
Yeah.
show it off, but as far as printing 20 of each just to hold on to them, hoping you might sell them, yeah, that'd be
I
stupid.
wouldn't do that.
You'd be
Mhm.
better off just waiting until a print to order type thing. Because you might not sell any. I mean, the amount of people out there selling those right now, you might not get any business
Yeah.
because there's
Well, what you
already
do is you
tons
got to
of
be
Etsy's.
reasonable. You be reasonable. If they're charging $23, $24 in shipping, you charge $22.95 free shipping,
Well, because
and
that's what I'm,
it costs you $2 to ship it, and it costs you maybe $1 to do this.
well, that's
know?
what I'm saying. Those, but there's so many Etsy stores, not to mention Amazon selling them now, and it's just not worth it. I don't think to get into that now.
I wasn't looking up. I thought that was a train. I said, "Who got a train in there coming out the back?"
That's what it
Yeah.
sounded like at first. He's really pushing it, flying that around a bunch of school computers. Yeah,
Oh, speaking of that,
he can barely fly
yesterday,
outside, and he's flying in the school.
yesterday when we were on, I was watching the Weather Channel. It's still Storm Center was going on, right? And they were sitting in their
What's up,
studio.
Bill?
I counted 27 monitors in the picture. They had 27
Bill.
monitors people were watching.
Yep.
That's crazy. Just I'd like to know how much it costs for that studio.
Oh, and for Ryan's studio?
This was what you call the Weather Channel.
Oh,
The guy was sitting right here, and then the other guy was sitting over here, and behind him I counted 27 monitors. I only saw about 3 people. You gotta come on and hit the camera, not the camera now what? Boom.
oh, there he goes. He just did it. uh,
Tell you, that song dangerous.
actually, if those Avadas, if they would do okay in like a cave environment, that would be pretty cool because you could go explore in a cave with those.
Yeah.
I don't know how well they would do with the sensors and everything within a cave, but that would be pretty cool if you could, because then you could go down in a cave with one of those and kind of explore it before you go down in there and walk around, you know. So we'll see what's down in there.
Yeah, Billy Kyle, when he was flying him in a dark area, as soon as it got dark, like a cave area, the thing started spinning where it couldn't pick up anything, so it didn't know what to do. So Sunday night, we got multiple systems coming out of Texas for severe weather. Love it. Hoorah. Now, what sticker do I want on this? I'm gonna have to order new stickers pretty soon. I'm running out of these. There he goes. He doesn't do it again.
Gonna do what
Yeah.
again?
Hit the camera.
Ah,
Yeah, I said that earlier. I said he's gonna run into that camera, and he went over it, and you heard boom. He gets there early so he can, that's why he gets there early, not to set up for school, just so he can fly the drone inside.
Oh dear.
I'm determined next month when I gotta pay my rent, I go on the 3rd and pay my rent up front. I'm gonna open up this little doorway right here, and I'm gonna put a little string on the bottom of the Avata with a little clip. And I'm gonna go over there and I'm gonna bump on that door so it'll open it up and take the check. That way I don't have to walk. Hey, Justin, I hope that package gets there today because it's starting to aggravate me.
You know, the other thing I like about the Avata 2?
What?
Uh-oh.
Nothing.
Everybody listen up. He's gonna say something he likes about the Avata 2.
Nothing. Actually, when you brake, you don't see the legs like you do in the Avata 1, right? You know, because the Avata 1, you know, would you know, tilt and you'd see the legs, but here you don't see the legs at all when you slow down. And the other thing is you can go full speed inside, where there was a governor on the Avata 1 where it would only go no more than 6 miles an hour. Here you can open it up.
Set it into beginner mode.
Say that again?
Set it to beginner mode, then it won't do more than 5 miles an hour.
Hey, Joe, what would you
No.
do if you saw this?
I want to open it up. I want to be able to open it up.
All right.
I wouldn't open the window.
In the audio, that she's like, let me in, let me in. Think about that.
I'd look over there and go, no. Not happening today, darling.
What I don't understand is why you say that setting your thermostat to 72 is going to cool the house down.
It does.
Well, it heats and cools the house.
Yeah,
It
but
just
my
makes that temperature-
my thermostat is set to 63 degrees to warm my house up.
Well, a couple of years ago, I started bitching because my electric bill was getting to be about $180. And I knew there was an issue. They came in and found out I had a Freon leak. So I told them, I said, well, you need to fix it. So they said, okay, we'll set it up because they had to buy a whole new coil and everything. But all of a sudden, I'm saying, well, what's going on with this? Because y'all charge it, but then y'all not fixing it. Well, we're waiting for the coil to come in. I said, okay, do it as soon as you can. About a week later, the air conditioner went out. And it wound up messing up. They said, well, you said to wait. I said, no, I didn't say to wait. I made them bring a portable unit over here. We had a portable unit in there and everything. Because it took them 3 days before they could get in here. They hadn't ordered the part. So they came in and replaced it and charged it. And since they have charged it, if I put it on 76, it keeps it cool. I used to have to put it on 70 to get it kind of cool. And my electric bill has been $90. You know, as long as I keep it, when I feel it where I'm at here, if I feel it getting warm, I just cool it down a little bit, and then it'll balance out. Like right now, it'll balance out probably for the rest of the day. And like at nighttime, I'll be laying back there like last night. I rolled over and I felt that chill, and I changed it to 76 last night, and I woke up cold this morning. So it's like, and it's 80 degrees outside now.
According to my smart meter, my electric is around about £3 a day, which is probably about
Probably in the 90s, like mine.
about $3.75.
Yeah, that makes sense because it's about the same as me. Now, the highest I've been in the last year is about like 120.
But yours is just a, what is it, a 2-bedroom flat?
Yeah.
Yeah, mine's a 3-bedroom, 2-story semi-detached house. But
Yeah, you're doing good.
and in weather like this, when the gas doesn't come on to heat the house up, because my house is warmed by gas, not electric, but I'm actually using about 30 pence a day gas at the moment. In winter, that goes up to over £3 a day. But right now, all the gas is doing is warming the water up when I turn the hot tap on.
Yeah, I'm glad I don't have to pay for a hot tub. I'll just go down and get one.
No,
You
not
got
the
one
hot
out front.
tub. Not the hot tub, the hot tap.
Oh, okay. I got a hot
Faucet.
tub out there. All I gotta do is go get in it.
Sorry, hot faucet.
That makes it better. Yeah, I understand that.
I forgot you don't call them taps. No, the hot tub would be electric, not gas. So
It should not be that hard to center this freaking thing on this thing.
well, it was sunny. It's clouding over a bit. They have promised us rain this afternoon at some point, but
Logan, what's up?
who's here now? Oh, Smoking. What is Smoking's name?
I don't know if he ever said it. I can't remember. I have to say somebody's name like 30 times before I remember it. I'm horrible with names.
I watched that thing with Tyler Perry. And when he came up and he was they introduced people to him, he'd repeat their name, with it. So he must have that memory that he could repeat the name and understand and remember it.
Oh, he's got the same name spelling as Mark, Rigger.
Oh, Rigger, right.
Yeah. Spells it the same way.
Oh, yeah.
M-A-R-C.
Well, by the way, today is Night Train's birthday.
Well, yeah, he's Canadian, isn't he?
Oh, is it?
And MARC is the French version of Mark.
Is this playing choppy?
Not too bad, a little bit.
We figured out
Zoom's-
that's the only reason you go to school early, to fly.
Exactly. And you guys were probably thinking right here I was going to crash.
Well, you did crash.
Pretty sure he goes around to the other teachers and steals their supplies too.
He
Yeah.
goes to
Yeah,
see if
yeah.
anybody got
Load up
donuts
my
in the desk.
Avada.
That's
He's
it.
like-
Sends the Avata out on a reconnaissance mission to see what's available.
He's like, I'll take that
Not a
box of
food they got.
pencils, that pack of paper. Jody, Michael, how's it going, guys?
You just got to be very careful what you bump into in the chemistry lab.
Yeah.
Have you ever done resin printing, smoking? Or is this like your first one that you've done? If not, if it is your first one, I know who, if you want any pointers, I would definitely ask Rigger. He knows a lot about resin printing.
Make sure you
He's
got
really-
ventilation.
He's really, really good at it.
Yeah, lots of ventilation.
Yeah, Rigor Mortis, he does a lot of resin printing. He's really good at it.
Do you ever get lost, Lance? Flying all over the place. How the hell does he know where he is? It gets to a point where he goes, shit, now how do I get back?
He just gets back to the main. That's probably because he's got that little H in there that tells you where you go. Yeah, what it does in the goggles, it has a little H that shows you the home point, so you can just go back to that H.
Yeah, that
So,
doesn't
Joe-
help when you're 3 stories
So
above
right
where
down
you
here, I
started
was
off.
losing connection right here around the corner from time to time, and I never lost a connection with the Avado OG. But I would lose connection right in here, as far as being able to see my screen. It'd start to pixelate right in this area.
So that's another reason you hate it, huh?
Another reason to hate it.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
What's up, Al? How's it going, man?
And I open it up right here. This sucker moves inside.
Alexa, turn off 3D printer.
Saw you were over there on Adrian's with Dre the other day. Al.
Hi, Al. Jody.
Kind of skimmed through his live stream real
Michael.
quick. I think Adrian's doing every other week or something like that. Or I think he's gonna go back to a schedule of every other week. Put the FCC hack in the Avada 2. It will give you more power.
He's flying FCC.
Oh my God, cool cat. See what he put in the chat?
No.
He said, holy
No.
crap, I've just realized that Lance is a spitting image of Rosie O'Donnell. Oh, it's so fucked up.
No, man.
Thank you.
That's a good one.
Lance said thank you.
I resemble that.
I resemble that.
Yeah.
Sure, Justin. I thought you were my friend. Make fun of me. Go ahead.
I didn't say anything. I said that was messed up.
Good morning, time to fall.
Yeah, I can't remember which comedian used to say that. I resemble that remark. Yeah.
Well, Joe, when do you guys, you Avada flyers, expect somebody to hack the shit out of the Avadas to allow you to unlimited speed?
I wouldn't put it anytime soon.
No, Anita.
They haven't done anything with the original Avada, with the exception of adding new motors, which I guess creates a little quicker response time.
But that's not really hacking it. That's just adding new
No.
hardware to it.
That is correct.
I just think that nowadays in the world of hacking, these hackers would be all over that.
Well, drone tweaks to get Europeans to be allowed to use the FCC power outputs actually rewrote part of the Fly app. So you have to be able to load their version of the Fly app onto the device to make it work. So it usually only works on things like phones and tablets, because other than the RC Pro, you can't sideload a new app onto the other RCs.
Well, not to mention most really techie people aren't gonna want to fuck with a proprietary system anyway. It's not worth their time. You know, they'd rather deal with open source software type shit.
Cool Cat wants to know
Yeah.
what is the scope of the settings for the Avata 2? I haven't got a clue.
What is what? Let me look at it.
Al. He said, yeah, Justin, I was on Adrian's. He called me and asked. We won't see him for another 7 months.
Well, I haven't changed any settings on that, just fly it as it was. But you
just
can go
pull it
in
right out
and you
of the
can
box,
change
right?
the yaw speed, you can change the maximum speed. In beginner mode, it won't let you go over 5 miles an hour. And that's something they just started doing. That is in the goggles you got to change to turn it off. The biggest thing, and they let you change the camera angle. That'll change the way you can fly and the speed. But I've got it straight out the box, and I haven't changed anything, and I'm happy with it the way it
Joe's
is.
still flying in beginner mode,
Yeah.
3 miles an hour.
Well, I tell you what, if I'm gonna go through that tugboat, I'm gonna go in beginner's mode.
I cannot.
If he's gonna fly through the tugboat, he's gonna go flying through there at below learner's beginner's mode.
I mean, you can tune the Avata, but only to what they have set in the software. It's not like you can hook it up and tune it the way you want to tune it. Not hooking it up to beta flight or anything.
No,
Are Canada under the FAA, or are they limited to the low power output like we are?
most likely.
No, I don't think they are. I know Australia's not. They have the same output we do. Because that was one of the things when I sent Matt those 2 FPV drones. The first thing him and Mike had to figure out was whether they were on the lower power mode or what we were using, because then they had to adjust it. They were going to have to adjust things in order to get it to be compatible. Because I was sending him American drones, but he was using a radio he bought in Australia, so we weren't sure. Him and Mike weren't sure if they were both on the same power output. And once they figured it out, and they figured out that, yeah, they are on the same power output, then it was an easy getting it connected and everything.
They weren't DJI stuff, were they?
No, it was all open source stuff. It was 2 little FPV drones I sent them. They were like little baby hawks or something. Or I can't remember what they were. Tiny
DJI
hawks.
is where you are and adjust your power output accordingly. So if you bring a drone over from America to England, you'll be limited to our power output automatically.
There was that guy in, I think he was out of Scotland. He's got a pretty big channel, pretty decent sized channel. He was the one, I think, doing the DJI hacks over there. But I don't know whether any of those actually work anymore or not. Because DJI's kind of really clamped down on their software and stuff. Like you can't go back on updates anymore where you used to be able to. Now, once you update your drone, it's stuck in that stuck in there. You can't roll it back if you want to. But you used to be able to do that back in the day.
Damn.
I mean, obviously there are hacks out there for them, because I mean they were using them in Ukraine on the drones, so there's obviously hacks out there, but but I wouldn't be surprised if those hacks weren't coming from Western governments too, and how they figured out how to hack them. I'm sure, for all we know, that could have been some kind of hack or software that came from the NSA or something, that they sent over there for them to use on the drones.
The only thing I don't like about the fact that Drone Tweaks have done it with a new Fly app is the fact that they ask you for your IMEI number of the device you're going to use it on, and it is limited to that device, so you can't use it. If you use a phone and a tablet, you've got to buy it twice.
I mean, would they really know if like you hacked your drone in the UK and were using a stronger output? Like, is there a way for them to see that, or without actually like diagnosing the drone itself, like hooking it up and figuring
Um,
it out?
I don't think so. I mean, they have actually added that on a couple of charges where they've already got somebody for doing something. They've found out that they were using the hack and too much power, and then they've done them for that as well. But I don't think they can actually do it any other way.
Well, like I said, there was that guy, I believe he was in Scotland. He might have been in the UK, but he had a pretty decent sized channel. And I remember he used to do that. I actually kind of found the dude quite annoying, but at the very beginning, when I first came in the drone community, I watched a couple of his videos, but he was outright like showing how to do it and shit right on his channel doing videos. So I don't know if you guys if you could get in trouble over there for posting videos like that, like actually showing somebody how to do it. Let me see if I can find
Um,
his channel and I'll tell you who he was, because you probably have heard of him. Just can't think of his name.
Well, I just saw I'm not gonna be flying maybe today. Let me
Why?
show you this.
Fine.
This is Lake Pontchartrain where we fly a lot. I
Oh,
get it to
boy.
play.
Yeah, it's a little bit. Well, I don't
Nah,
know.
I wasn't
I
mad, Ted.
fly in that kind of weather.
Yeah, I don't think I'm gonna be flying today, huh?
No,
Sissy,
what? It wasn't Mad Tech though. It was somebody else. He was kind of a little heavy set. I think he was bald, if I remember correctly.
so it's not Gavin because he's not bald.
Oh, what the hell's his name? Or no, he wasn't bald.
I don't think it would be Ian of London. There's Windswept Robert up in Scotland.
What was his name?
What, in Scotland?
Yeah.
Windswept Robert.
Let's see if that was him.
Yeah, the winds are 22 to
He's
34
had a
gusts right
couple
now.
of run-ins with the police saying that he was flying out of line of sight as well.
Nah, it wasn't him. Oh, what the hell's his name?
I don't think Ian of London would have done, but he's not posted anything for a while, actually, now. Don't think of it. But he was the one that flew his Avata into not his Mini 3 Pro that he melted over the volcano. He was the one that flew it into the volcano after that.
It was Tech Drones Media. I don't know where
Tech
he's out of.
Tech
Here,
Drones Media.
yeah, do you know who that is?
That's in that Henry.
Yeah.
Yeah, because he was doing FCC hacks videos
He's
back
in
when.
he's in Norway, I think.
Is that Norway? I couldn't remember. I knew he was from one of the some country over there. I just couldn't remember. But yeah, he was posting a bunch of FCC hack videos for the longest time, showing people how to hack them and everything, and talking about it. That's why I say I wonder if you could get in trouble for just posting videos like that, if you're not really allowed to be flying in those with those signals or with that output.
This in eco mode. Stupid.
But I mean, you post videos of hacking stuff like that. I mean, you do face potential lawsuits from the companies that you're doing their shit to. You face possible legal action from local authorities depending on where you're at. I mean, that can actually be dangerous posting videos like that. But some companies out there, they'll sue the living shit out of you if they catch you fucking with their
Well,
shit.
the problem is with any lawsuit is if you don't have nothing, they can't take nothing, you know?
No, but they could tie you
You
up in
don't want to get
court
in,
just
you
to,
don't want to get into that.
well, that's what I'm saying. Companies sometimes they'll tie you up in court just to spite you. They
Yep,
don't give a shit. They'll spend $10 million to keep you in court for 20 years
yep.
just to spite you, just to run you into the ground. They don't care. Like they're one of the Nintendo and Disney, those two companies, man, they'll sue the living shit out of you if they think you're doing something with their stuff. That's why all these people but Nintendo has a huge problem with emulators. Like, but they're always going after people and they catch them doing it. They'll sue the living crap out of them. But, there's so many emulators out there that they can't keep up with all of them. Same with Disney. Disney thinks you're using any of their stuff, they'll sue the living crap out of you. Well, like I said, if you're actively posting videos on how to hack a certain company's software, that could actually get you in trouble in some places. That's why you're starting to see less and less videos on YouTube about how to like jailbreak Fire Sticks and all that stuff, because YouTube started cracking down on all of it because they were getting so much heat from the authorities about videos like that. And now there's still some on YouTube, but there's not nearly as many anymore that show you how to do it. So a lot of them have gone to Rumble and different other sites that aren't as controlling of their content. They're kind of the wild, wild west with their content. And a lot of them have moved to Rumble and other platforms and started posting their videos on how to do that stuff. Well, Rumble will go the same exact way as YouTube. It's just a matter of time. Because you can only let your creators on your platform go unchecked for so long before things start getting out of control, and then they have to put some kind of rules in place, you know? Because eventually you'll start getting really shady crap being posted to your site that will get you in trouble. So then you're gonna have to start putting rules in place and all that. Rumble gets any bigger or even gets close to the size of YouTube, they'll end up putting all kinds of rules in place like YouTube. And so it's just a matter of time. You can't just let content creators go unchecked on a platform without some kind of system of government or governing your site. Yeah, that's true too, Cool Cat. Agree with that. I just wish Disney would stop putting so much sexuality in all their damn films. It's like, dude, you don't need to keep pushing that on everybody. Just make a good film and I'll want to watch it. But you keep fucking seeding all this stupid crap into it, and it just doesn't make it desirable to want to watch.
Oh, stupid thing.
This is a Cool Cat. Paramount is one of the worst ones over here in the U.S. Damn near every one of their shows, they have to, sprinkle in a bunch of sexual shit in their shows, and it's just like, dude, we don't need that. The shows themselves are good, but when they start talking about stuff like that, it just kind of turns you off from the show, and you don't want to watch it anymore. there's been a couple of shows I started watching and then they started with that crap and I just stopped watching. I was just like, okay, this has nothing to do with the premise of this show, but you have to force it in there. Same reason I stopped watching professional sports. I don't want to hear somebody that makes $50 million a year whining about equality. And the thing is, Michael, is like I don't care about that lifestyle or anybody that lives it, but it doesn't need to be sprinkled in every damn TV show that they put out. It's like, come on now. Like the Star Trek shows coming out. I want it to be about space and exploring. I don't care about people's sexuality and all that other side crap they got to stick in there. I just want a good sci-fi show. If it's a show that's about that kind of stuff, then more than happy to say put it in there. If that's what it's surround, the subject matter of the show's about, then I don't have an issue with that. But if the TV show has nothing to do with that kind of talk, there's no reason to try to force that into it. Yeah, Daryl, I feel you on that. 100%, man. Yeah, Disney and Paramount. Yeah, they're both 100% guilty of that. Like I said, go and watch half 90% of the Paramount shows, and you'll see they're probably worse than Disney is. I've noticed it more in their stuff than the Disney stuff, to be honest with you. It is what it is. It's a fad like anything else. Eventually, it's gonna die off, and it's just a matter of time. Any movements are fads just like anything else. They'll be around for a while and then people will get tired of it and then it will slowly fade off. We just have to sit around and wait for it. Because then you have new people come in that might not have the same ideas and old people retire and things change. I mean, it's not always the same. And you're starting to see a lot more comedians and actors that are starting to get sick of it, so that are outright coming out and talking against it. So there's quite a few people I know that homeschool their kids in the community, Michael. Ain't just one. I know of at least three. I just don't like homeschooling because I don't want to fail my kids as a teacher. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the only reason I don't agree with homeschooling myself because I have to be able to understand the work better than they do. You know what I'm saying? And when they start getting into high school and you're starting to have to relearn algebra and advanced English and all that other crap, man. I mean, that's a job in itself right there, you know? And not all teachers are bad. So there's a lot of good teachers here in our school district that don't have anything to do with any of that crap. The teachers, at least the teachers in my area, are very conservative. So most of them, so we don't tend to have too many problems around here. I'm just talking in my county.
Well, the other thing too is that socialization is important in the world.
Cause you'd be surprised how many teachers' cars you see with different stickers on their back windows that definitely aren't left stickers. You drive to my daughter's elementary school and half the teachers got Trump stickers and shit on their back windows. So there are teachers down here, at least, like I said, at least in my county area, I've noticed are very conservative. They're not about all that other crap. They're just there to teach the kids and what they need to learn. But like I said, I just don't like the homeschooling because I feel like, especially in high school, when you get to the high school realm of work, you have to be able to understand that work better than your child to be able to teach them correctly, right? Because they
Yep.
still have to take state testing at the end of the year, just like any other kid. And if they can't pass that, you've done failed your kid as a teacher. So anybody that homeschools, I give it to them 100%. I just wouldn't want to do it myself just because of that reason. Because you have to have a very strict schedule if you're going to be a homeschooling parent. But at the end, and then there's things I also think, it sucks that kids miss out on school dances and, hanging out with friends and just little experiences that everybody gets to experience in high school and middle school and all that. And I know a lot of, like I said, I had 3 or 4 friends growing up that were went to private schools, but then, that they didn't do any of the school dances, anything like that. But when they got to high school, their parents allowed them to go to public school to kind of get some of that experience, But in elementary, middle school, they went to private schools. So there are some things that I think is good with it, and some things that I just don't think are that great, but is what it is. Like I said, I respect anybody that can do it and their kids be successful and actually learn, because it's not an easy thing to do.
We had a woman across the street from us, Gretchen, her and Joe. They had 6 kids, and she homeschooled all of them.
Yeah, now like I said, it's a full-time thing. You have to be strict and have a schedule just like a school does, right?
Yeah.
Y'all get
Hey,
up
Joe,
and
Joe, to your knowledge, did the kids all turn out okay, or did they get it? Or did they have
No,
a
they're all
problem?
good.
Okay.
They're all the oldest is like my daughter's age. Actually, is older than that. They got the boys older than that. Everybody turned out good. Now the last when they got into high school, the last 3 years of high school, they went into high school. They put them into high school.
yeah,
Just to
so
get
they
the last
could
3 years with people.
yeah, so they could get that experience of
Yeah.
school dances and hanging out with friends and meeting people and socializing. I think that's
Yeah.
really important to a certain extent. And if if your kids can't get a lot of outside interaction by homeschool when you're homeschooling, I think that can not be the best thing. But if you can give them that interaction, like if you have a bunch of parents that homeschool and you all get together and your kids hang out and stuff, that's one thing, if you could set up something like that. But I think it is important for the interaction aspect. Because imagine your kid living at home their whole life, and that's all that they're doing is at home learning and doing that. And then all of a sudden they get thrown into a college environment where
Yeah.
kids are drinking and they're getting into trouble and they've never had any experience dealing with that in high school, seeing other students doing that and kind of learning from it. I think if you're going to homeschool, I think it would be good to put them in high school, let them go through public school through high school. Because I've seen kids, that were really sheltered like that, like my cousin, You know, he was homeschooled most of his schooling, I would say, and he did like the last, I think, 2 years in high school. He did public school, but he was homeschooled most of his life, very sheltered. And I'll tell you what, when he turned 18, that boy went fucking wild. And but his maturity level was like 5 years behind everybody else's age, right? Like everybody that when he was 25, everybody else was on a different maturity type level than where he was at 25. Because he was only a year younger than me, and when I was 25, you know, he was still acting like he was 18 because he didn't have, you know, wasn't allowed to do anything as a kid. And so when he turned 18, he left home. He just went wild, was partying, drinking, just going ape shit, getting into trouble, you know.
And he wasn't, he was sheltered and didn't understand right's wrong and discipline.
Well, it wasn't that he
Yeah.
didn't understand discipline. It was just he didn't get to experience going to a high school party and drinking with friends, you know, just little things like that that every one of us, probably you guys when you were a kid, experienced, you know, going and hanging out with your friends at 17 and going to an abandoned house and drinking together. You know, he didn't experience any of that kind of stuff. And so when he got out of high school and he turned 18, dude, he went fucking nuts. Because he only did his
I didn't
last like year.
experience going to an abandoned house drinking.
Well, I'm just saying, you get what I'm saying, though, right?
Yeah.
I'm sure when you were a teenager, you and your friends snuck off places and did things that probably weren't legal.
No,
mean,
I had a girlfriend. I used to sneak off with her.
okay, and it's still, your parents probably wouldn't have approved of that if they knew what you were doing.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Stumble over your words, Joe.
If they would have, when they were in the kitchen, if they would have known what I was doing on the sofa half the time with her,
That's what I'm
they
saying.
wouldn't have approved of it.
I've seen sheltered kids go really nuts when they finally get a taste of freedom.
As my daughter. My daughter had all those years at Cabrini High School, cheerleader, all of this. She went off to college and completely lost it. She didn't know what to do with herself.
Yep, some kids will do that. You gotta let them out on a leash a little bit, let them experience a little bit of trouble. But you gotta, I think it's good to a certain extent, you know,
And
because
that was the
that's
worst
how
year
they
of her
learn.
life. I mean, freaking 4.0 grade point average, goes to LSU. It's got it made at LSU. And she gets there and she's rooming with two other girls and they just started partying. That's all they did. She wound up being an academic right off the bat. Then she was gonna lose the scholarship that she had. She had the state put out a scholarship that if you graduated in the state of Louisiana, there was a guy that what he did, he used to write the funeral policies, the insurance policies. He was an insurance guy. So he put a fund together that if you got a certain grade point average in school and you graduated and you went to a state college, he would pay for it. He had an insurance thing out there and she'd have full tuition paid. You know, and it was like she went out there and screwed that up. As soon as she got below the grade point average in college, it's taken from you don't get it back.
Yeah, what do they call it? Academic probation when you get in trouble, like when you're
Yeah,
not keeping up on your
and she
stuff.
did that and then she lost that scholarship to pay for her school. You know, it's
Yeah,
like,
because the scholarships require you maintain a certain GPA. If you don't,
and
then yeah.
she'd go out party and come back sleep and didn't want to get up, and then she's still doing that. She's not partying now, but she'll work, come back, and she don't want to. She's still not where she needs to be head wise. What's up, Donald?
I think I just lost my USB support.
Uh-oh. What
Oh,
happened?
shit. I have no idea.
What, nothing you're plugging in's working?
Nope, camera's not working. I'm on my monitor. There's a built-in camera on the monitor here that I'm using. My audio box is not working. I'm on using the.
Can
This
you?
might sound stupid. Did you turn your computer off and turn it back on?
Not yet. I just now noticed
Okay.
when I went to log on here. I was like, oh, shit.
You can get on the internet, right? You're on the internet. So go ahead and send a
No, I
message.
can't get
to
on the
Timu.
internet. I don't think.
Go send a message to send a message to Timu and tell them what's happening and tell them you need a replacement.
I just when I logged on just a minute ago too, I logged on to my my other YouTube account and I never use it for browsing or anything, so it comes up with just random stuff. And it popped up a video that said, "We just told the kids I'm dying," and it's I guess I kind of glanced at it a little bit to see what the hell, because I guess the woman was diagnosed and she's terminal and so they told the kids that she was dying. But what is it about my sick brain that made it? I
What,
thought
Jim?
that is the worst practical joke ever. We just told the kids I'm dying. I thought it was a practical joke. It's just, hey, I never went to any haunted houses or drinking, and I didn't go do any of that stuff. I didn't socialize when I was in high school, really. I was kind of an outcast, and I turned out okay.
That explains a lot.
Well, what's your definition of okay? Look at the way he's staring at the camera.
That's that Timu. I'm telling you, somebody got to kill that video. All of a sudden, you're gonna see Fisheye come over his shoulder.
Yeah, Fisheye explains a lot as alternate personality. That's a 16-year-old trying to get out.
Yeah, I spent the morning writing some. I don't need clown makeup. That's a Jim Beauchart thing. Michael. I spent the morning writing ideas for Jim Beauchart to do videos. He needs to make Uncle Extra Medium videos again.
He turns up if you say mudball 3 times while looking in the mirror.
I don't know, Michael. Go try that real quick. Go look in the mirror and try that real quick. If that works, I can save a ton on airfare. Okay, well, I'm going to restart and just see. Actually, let me go to About This Mac and take a look and just see if. Ooh.
So your computer's not working?
It's his USB ports.
Actually, it's USB. It's a couple of them because those
Well,
two
could it-
devices are
could it-
plugged into two different.
Could it be
Places.
a driver?
Don't know. I'm gonna go see. Because, yeah, I noticed when I logged on here, and that's not gonna be good for the day if that's the case. So I'll be back, hopefully.
Hey, Michael.
Oh, there's Michael. I'm leaving.
One of the suggestions it makes is make sure you check to see if you have a software update.
Oh, now he's gone.
Reboot.
I'm back, baby.
Jim says I say Justin 3 times makes my bank account go down $15. What's up, Michael?
Hey, Justin, how you doing? How you doing? You played really well last night, you know, on that game.
Yeah, we did good last night.
I mean,
It's
you make a real strategic blunder at one point, and I just thought, oh, fucking hell.
Well, because
But,
I thought they were behind me, but they stopped to go through stuff, and I was already almost there. So
Yeah, well,
it is what it is.
Yeah, it is what it is. I mean, when you've got a comprehensive map that shows you precisely where you and your team are, I'm not buying it. But here's the thing.
Bite my ass.
There were people saying, no, don't go off. Don't go on. And they were still saying it. And you're in the car. And then you go, no, there's people here. And you knew you were on your own. And then you jumped out of the car. You didn't turn around in the car. And it was just like an unfolding mistake that people were saying.
No, I tried to turn around in the car and they blew it up.
Oh,
before I could turn around.
Though. It's like you shouldn't have even been there in the car anyway.
Hey, they're the one that chose the location where there was 3 or 4 teams at. So.
Well, I know, but if you'd arrived there with the team, that would have been fine, probably. But in any case, it doesn't matter. But it gave me something to shout at. I was shouting at the screen.
Even if they would have been with me, I don't think it would have been that a very good outcome. Because when I got there, because you couldn't see my screen, obviously, because I wasn't live streaming. But when I got there, there was 3 different squads within, so far around me.
I mean, I've seen Jason do it before, but when he arrives somewhere and it's not right, he'll just relocate.
Well, that's what I tried to do. I tried to turn around, and then they blew up my car because I had 3 different squads shooting at me from 3 different areas.
Well, there you go. I mean, I guess it's a lesson learned, right?
But like I said, even if they were with me, we probably would have gotten ambushed because that's pretty much what happened to me.
Yeah.
So I don't think the outcome would have been much better. It might have went our way, but I mean, we'll never know.
So. Who knows? But that's the thing. When you play as a team, you die as a team. Dying on your own is silly.
But sometimes there's just so much stuff going on, though. It's like
I know. That's why these simple strategic rules you have to follow. So first one, stick together. Always support your teammates. And have a kind of it's like an order of important things. So teammate gets knocked, he's smoked and picked up, and that's generally to get him back on his feet. Engage targets simultaneously. So you have an overwhelming effect. There's all sorts of things that you do as a default or what they call a standard operational procedure. You get them kind of drilled so that you know them. But the strategies for
getting better though.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, you're getting really good. The team games you had yesterday with Jason and his brother, is it?
Yeah, Ted. And then we
Ted's
do really,
good, eh?
and then I've done really well with Tim and Corey as well when we play together.
Yeah.
It's just like we get a lot of second places, for
And
every.
do you know what's difficult? And this is where I sympathize completely, is that you played a lot of solo, haven't you? So when you've learned that game, you've learned a solo frame of mind. And the solo game and the team game are so different in the manner in which you play them in order to garner success. What you have to do is disconnect from that solo frame of mind and become the team. It's a bit of a soundbite, I know, but you need to have a team frame of mind.
Well, how's it working now, Donald? Still not working?
Nope, it's working.
Okay,
that's good.
Yeah, I've had that happen a couple of times on my PC over the last year, where nothing was working on the USBs, and I turned it off, turned it back on, it kicked right back in. That happens.
That was weird.
Did you manage to
get every once in a while?
Your the lighting on your computer, Don, is still doing that thing. It's still fluctuating, going in and out.
No,
do you know what it is?
I'm adjusting it right now.
Oh, okay. All right.
Because I've got my window wide open here.
Yeah. I guess it's some kind of auto white balance or something.
What's up,
isn't it?
Laura?
I had the auto white balance was what was actually
Laura?
darkening it, and it was the thing that was the other night when it was going dark without me paying
Yeah.
attention. It was it fighting with the auto white balance and trying to
Got you.
adjust everything, and so I've got everything turned off with the auto except for focus, and so it seems to have been working now. But when I first start up, if the camera gets reset, I have to open up the
Yeah, it was a bit out of control.
settings
for a while.
panel and readjust it.
Oh, Michael, I got accepted into Epic's creator program, so now I have a discount code.
Let me
For
just
people
turn my volume up a bit. Sorry, you got accepted into what?
Epic's creator, support a creator,
Oh,
thing. And now I have a discount code that people can use when they buy stuff on there.
I'll hit you up. Whether you want to buy something.
So now, like, if
Lance,
Jason goes and buys
Good.
his, battle passes and stuff, he can get a discount on them.
There you go. Hey, Lance, you still there?
No, Lance left a minute ago. Unless
Okay.
he's in the chat.
Yeah. Well, I gotta tell them this later. Last night they had the graduation, 568 people for Mandeville graduated. And one of the parents that I shoot her girl's picture for track and soccer, she's got on her post, it's graduation, not the WWF. A late Karen just literally F-bombed the folks behind me. They got into an argument because of a seat being saved in front and nobody would move out the way. So she climbed on top of her and over her, and they went to swinging. Both were escorted out.
Yo, bitch, get out the
Oh, wow.
way. Get out
They
the
said
way.
gate area is saucy. The gate 2 area is saucy. They went to swinging.
Nice.
That song, Donald, that song, I've got a country version of that song. Yo, bitch, get out of the way. It's very good. I think it's Hank Marvin. Something like that.
I'd like to have been there now. I'd have been taking pictures.
Yeah, that would have been entertaining. I know Joe would have been taking pictures and going, wow, look at that, man. Look at these.
I'd have been trying to get video, get me a short going.
Jelly wrestling.
I tell you, I was telling Paul this morning, I had the viral short of the day, probably of the year. I woke up this morning and my son said, "You know what you did?" I said, "No." He said, "Go look in the front on the sofa." I walked up front and Tino's locked up front, so my dog's locked on the sofa. Well, he can't get to the back, so he's looking at me and he's wagging his tail. You know, the tail's just like, what did I do? Why am I here? You know, all this. So I opened up the gate. When I opened up the gate, Cleo, the little black one, runs up there. She gets face to face with him, starts biting on him, and just gave him all kind of crap. Like, where have you been all night? Were you cheating on me or something like that? That's what it looked like. And he's sitting there and he's got his face back like this, and she's all up here biting on him and screaming at him.
Oh,
And he just had enough. Yeah, he just had enough and slapped her with a paw. It's like, bitch, quit. Yeah. But it was, I mean, I sat there, and the best part about it, the way it was, here's his face. She ran up there and she went and got right up on him like that. And then started on him. Like,
Hey, Laura,
bitch,
how
where
you
been all
doing?
night?
Laura says Donald and I are talking too much, so we need to be quiet.
Yeah.
Yeah, she also said, shut up,
Hey, Laura.
Justin. So, she
And
actually
Laura
said, shut
plans
up,
on going
Joe, but I don't
live
listen
this
to her.
afternoon.
Right, I've got some Kruger Biltong. Let me just find a picture of this so you guys can see what I'm eating. Bear with me. I guess it's Kruger because that's hinting at where it's, South Africa, maybe.
Yeah, my neighbor across the street's a Kruger.
A Kruger or a cougar?
Kruger.
Well, that's what he said,
but
right?
Joe said Kruger, but yeah. I'm saying Kruger, as in
Well, your neighbor across the street, how old is she, Joe?
The one across the street's like in the 40s.
In her 40s.
well, so,
And Joe's trying to get all over that.
Don't worry about that. You know why? She smokes. I don't deal with cigarettes.
it's a disgusting habit.
I think Justin
used
you used to smoke before you started vaping, didn't you, Justin?
Oh yeah, and then I still have an occasional cigar here and there too. I don't. Life is too short to be worrying about every fucking stupid thing.
Yeah, but I'm not gonna make it shorter.
Oh, I hope this enhance is good.
I'm just going to share my screen. It's a lot
Everybody
easier.
has has a vice.
Yep.
I don't.
I just use channel locks. I don't use a vice.
Yeah,
Or
vice
vice
grips.
grips.
Yeah.
Vice
You don't
grips.
have any vices, Donald? You don't like gardening?
Is that a vice?
Yeah, why not?
Hmm.
What's wrong
This
with
is
it?
why-
I didn't say anything's wrong with it.
No. Okay,
Oh.
explain
Vice
it.
doesn't always have to have something. Doesn't always have to be bad.
I think you're confusing vice with hobby.
So is that like a beef jerky type
Is
of
that
thing?
like bacon or
Yep.
beef jerky or?
It's beef jerky, so it's really thinly sliced single side of beef, and it's absolutely incredible. It's the best beef jerky I've had, and I've got to say that I'm not really that much of a connoisseur. I haven't had a lot of beef jerky in my lifetime, not by my standards of measurement anyway. I have probably eaten rather a lot of it, but it's really good. Nice and thin. It's got like a very rich umami taste to it. Oh my God.
I had a while back salmon jerky.
Oh God, yeah.
I'd never heard of it. And it was like, oh, it sounded really weird, but it's pretty good.
Oh, I bet, yeah.
Justin, the definition of vice is moral depravity or corruption, a moral fault or failing, a habitual and usually trivial defect or shortcoming.
Okay, so you're micro penis, son. Okay.
I don't think that's really a habit or a moral failing. That's just genetics, dude.
That's a shortcoming, as far as women are concerned.
Yeah.
There's
Well, you
there's
cannot
nothing
get
out
that
there
in
that
Amazon.
you enjoy that would be considered
A
not good
vice?
for you, whether it be cake or ice cream or something that you indulge in a lot.
Oh, that I indulge in a lot? No. That I indulge in occasionally? Yes. I do have weaknesses.
What about coffee? There you go.
I'm
We'll
not
zoom
sure
into
if
that.
that is a moral fault or failing or a habitual defect or shortcoming.
I can't
It's a
see it.
habit.
Never mind.
Okay, everybody has a habit, then I'll say
Okay.
that.
Well, some habits can be good. Just because it's a habit doesn't necessarily
Yes.
imply that it's bad.
Well,
Yeah.
the habit could be good, but affecting other things too.
Well, in that case, it's a bad habit, I guess.
Yeah.
Because, like, say Donald was into,
I think this
Like
camera's
just-
fucked.
just like, let's use, say if Donald is big into gardening, but it was affecting his financials because he was spending every bit of his money on
Oh,
gardening.
yes, that would be.
Yeah.
That would be
I could say that would be a vice because that'd be
Yeah.
Damaging,
I would be.
right.
destructive, and
I'm
negative,
guessing then. Yeah, of course I've got a vice. Everybody's got a vice. I'm lazy as hell.
I don't think you're lazy.
Yeah, but that's coming from you.
Yeah, right. That's the thing.
Oh, for fuck's sake. You sound very motivated when you talk.
Oh, I say I talk a good game. Sure.
Yeah, I think that's what I would, if I had a choice to sort out vices, if I could take a pill and get rid of a vice, I would sort out my laziness, my motivation issues, because that's the
Actually,
biggest killer of mine.
actually, it's my concentration. I don't concentrate on the things I should be concentrating on. Like I should be in here editing this morning. Instead, I was writing bits for Jim Beauchart uh, for a return for Uncle Extra Medium.
Oh yeah. Well, the
I
thing
wouldn't.
is, that's the danger of enjoying what you do, because you're chasing the passionate thing. You know, you're being fed by the enjoyment, and that's just that's what happens.
That'd be
Part of the
more of a
process.
priority thing, though, wouldn't it?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, that's not bringing any money. I've got this project here that is going to be bringing in money. I should be working on it.
Well, there's an easy solution to that. Send Beauchart a bill. Tell him nothing's free.
Yeah, give him the 10% friends and family discount.
Actually, he didn't ask for it. I just started supplying it this morning. And the first one I sent him, because he sent me a picture of him right there on the shore of the lake. And
Masturbating.
it's like,
Yeah, sorry, go on.
I have an idea for a shot here. And I gave him this one concept. It says, keep them coming, my wonderful creative consultant. And in parentheses, who works for free?
Yeah, he
Oh,
did call
dear.
you a consultant, so
Who works
that's
for
not
free?
free.
Mm.
You're a freebie consultant.
Tell him my idea of free is $100 an hour.
But no, if I was getting paid for it, then I wouldn't want to do it. I would find some other random shit to waste my time on. If it's a job, I don't.
Like making videos about 10.
Yeah, I mean, if you can disconnect the money side of things, you might be able to still do it. Because imagine a scenario where Beauchart suddenly became very well known. He kind of blew up overnight, if you like, and he was getting and he would then phone you and say, hey, can you write me some stuff, and I'll and he was sending money to you, and you were sending jokes over, and you didn't really have to deal with much of it. That would probably still be okay, would it?
No, I don't think it
No?
has to do with the money. It has to do with not doing what I'm supposed to
Incentive.
be doing.
Oh, okay, the naughty thing. That's the
Or
motivation.
making wiener advertisements for me.
It's like I'm supposed to be doing this. This is the responsible thing to do, and I run away from it.
Oh, I see what you mean. Yeah,
I don't know what that is, so that would be
Oh,
a vice,
God.
definitely.
yeah, that rings true with me as well.
Yeah,
Oh my
Donald
God.
even made a wiener advertisement about me.
Yeah,
Mm.
Justin's wiener on a string.
Yeah.
I have a million. I've got like just a catalog of just random shit, just crazy ideas that are all half finished on my iPad because I cannot. I don't see them through because once it gets to be where okay, I could do this and rubber hits the road. No, on to the next planning stage.
Yeah, the creative dilemmas you have. I don't suffer from creative dilemma because I'm not that creative. But maybe one day.
Well, they say
Milton-
if
well,
you're going to do something, they always say don't tell people what you're going to do.
right.
Just work on it. If you tell people what you plan on doing,
Yeah.
they'll
Give
say,
yourself
"Oh, that's great,
expectations.
that's whatever," and they will give you encouragement, and that's what you were after in the first place by telling them, and you were after that positive feedback. Well, when you get that positive feedback, your motivation goes to hell because you already got the feedback that you're after in the first place for the
You
project.
get the reward before the work. Yeah,
Yeah.
I see. You've got to make your psychology work for you, and part of being able to do that is understanding your own psychology, and it's not always easy. So, well, fair play.
I don't got no psychology.
You got a lot
Mate.
of those double negatives, eh, Justin?
I don't got none of it.
Got none neither.
I ain't got none.
I ain't got none of that dang psychology shit.
Yeah.
You people come down here from the north and turn a family activity into a problem. It's a punchline to an old joke. The person coming into an Arkansas school board meeting and talking about the prevalence of incest in the South.
Excuse me.
And one farmer pops up and says, "That's just like you Northerners come down here turning a family activity into a problem." Just I got a podcast. It's kind of like I was doing on Paul Wedgenbig's show, that fisheye thing, advice from Fisheye last year. I was doing it every week, and it just suddenly all creativity on the fisheye front dried up, and I put fisheye in boxes. Haven't pulled them out since. Well, except for arms for fisheye, I pulled them out for that, but I put them in a box. I could not focus on doing it. And it's the simplest thing in the world. Stick a sock in your hand and talk shit for. It's almost as easy as live streaming games.
Smart ass.
Yeah, nearly.
You got to admit, Justin, that's pretty easy.
I don't know. After watching Jason have as many issues as he has.
Oh, true. But as far as conceptually,
I mean, no, it's not hard. It's fun though.
you log onto the game and the content generates itself through play.
Well,
Whereas,
I mean, you have to be semi good at it too, otherwise people
Right,
aren't going to want to watch it.
right, but that comes from practice and you still have to have, I mean, there are better game streamers than others because they have that personality, they're able to interact, but you have the gameplay itself providing that catalyst.
True. I agree with you.
Whereas if you sit down and you're gonna putting a sock on my hand, there's no catalyst there. I have to have some sort of a there has to be some sort of creative spark, some reason to write.
But you have a
fun.
personality for that, though. I mean, you could be the YouTube Jeff Dunham. Why not? Or Jeff Dunham.
Jeff Dunham's a ventriloquist.
Yeah, but you can
I'm not
still
gonna
be-
learn ventriloquism. I'm sorry. I'm not gonna learn how to talk with my mouth not moving.
A little hard for you
You
there,
can
Donald.
call me Jeff Dunham is an insult. You should have said something like you could be the next Jim Henson.
Okay.
Jim Henson was a creative genius. Jeff Dunham.
Oh, careful, you're going to piss Lloyd off. Don't speak ill of the master.
Paul. By the way, Paul, you're muted. If you know.
Oh yeah, I've seen these.
Paul, am I okay to play this?
If it's a
by the way,
mix, most likely
Can't
it's
hear
not
you,
going to be a
Paul,
big
because you're
deal.
muted, Paul.
If it's an actual like remix, you'll probably be okay.
Yeah. Paul, I don't know if you said yes or no because you're muted.
But you
Thumbs
also
up or
want to
thumbs down.
you also want to do it in
Joaquin
don't
Phoenix
play
is
the
shit.
whole thing.
Yeah,
Just play a snippet of it. Just play a snippet.
Just parts of it.
Okay, yeah.
Straight out of Compton, crazy mother named Ice Cube. From the gang called Fellers with Attitudes. When I'm called off, I got a sold off. Squeeze the trigger and bodies are hauled off.
Yeah.
You too, boy, if you with me. The police are gonna have to come and get me off your ass. That's how I'm going out for the pulp mothers. They're showing out when I'm in your
Okay, I
neighborhood.
like it.
You better.
Good, right?
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
I've watched that. He has one, or there was a one where who was it reacted to it? It was a
Snoop himself. reacted
Snoop
to what he
Dogg.
did.
Yeah, Snoop
There you
Dogg
go.
reacted. Yeah,
yeah. There's actually been some
just what-
record labels.
yeah.
I'll kick a little something for the G and make a few ends as I breeze through.
That's the one.
2 in the morning and the party still jumping cause my mama ain't home. I got bitches in the living room getting it on and they ain't leaving till 6 in the morning. So what you gonna do? Shit, I got a pocket full of ruffles and my homeboys do too. Mate, I'll kick a
Yeah, there's actually been some record labels that have been trying to sue over some of these AI shit. But that's why I said they got to get some kind of legal rules in place, because
Or have they?
if
You
they
know, I
don't,
know.
man, that's the type of cases that get tied up in court for years in debate. Is this legal?
Mm.
Is this not? You know, if they don't have a set of legal laws that say, yeah, you can do this, this, or that, then those kind of court cases, instead of being really quick and decided,
Mm.
they get tied up in like almost a philosophy. What is it, like a
The
philosophy
thing is,
type thing?
everything
This
that you
is-
do is a representation of something else. You know.
Everything's
You know,
a
like
remix.
story. I mean, yeah, exactly. Like if someone told a story, you could say that's based on a true story. Well, of course, it's based on everything's based on a true story.
Yeah, there was a great video essay, Everything's a Remix, that came out a few years ago.
In fact, it's a very good philosophical exercise to think about that sort of thing. Chew it over in your head, so to speak. Sorry about the chewing. If anyone does any camping, let me show you a product that I'm very impressed with. Swedish.
What's up, Dusty? How's it going, man?
Is that mine? Yeah, maybe. Oh, there it is.
You gotta be
I'm gonna
talking
turn
about
that.
people from the south. You shut up, Laura. And tell David that goes double for him.
Hello.
There's no volume control for the shorts.
Yeah,
That's
there
fucking
is.
ridiculous.
Go
What
up
is
to
that?
the little volume thing, and there's a slider bar up there.
The guy who did the
Volume
who did the video, the original video, did a TED talk, which looks like it boils it down into a much more succinct.
Do you see it, Michael?
Sorry, what did you say?
And up by where you can mute it and everything, there should be a
Oh, up
slider
top.
bar.
Yeah. Okay, no, I've got it.
That's
Thank
something they added finally after months of everybody complaining.
you. Got it.
Because
Thank
some
you.
shorts would be so low you couldn't hear them, and then some would be so loud it was just unbearable to listen to them.
Right. Let me see. Yeah, so I was given this knife by a friend, and he got it for me because it's so cheap. It's like buying someone, you know, bread or something. It was like maybe $6, but they are cheap. They're very cool, and I would totally recommend it to anyone who likes the idea of going fishing, and just to have a utility knife just kicking around. It's very sharp. The steel is a lot like surgical steel, so it doesn't it doesn't hold an edge brilliantly. It's not the best steel, you know, if you were going to work in a kitchen, let's say. However, it probably is the best steel to use if you have it kicking around and, you know, you're using it with salt, you know, near salt water as well, and that sort of thing, because it won't tarnish. There's too much chromium in it for it to tarnish. But you can get a very good edge on it, but it does take a while. But once that edge is there, it will stay for a long time. You just got to be careful not to use it on, you know, too hard a task, because you can damage the blade.
So don't be carving the spine out of a turkey with it.
You can do that. You can do that, but what I mean is you probably don't use it with another stick, like as an axe or something, because the blade doesn't. The blade's very strong, but it doesn't have enough flexibility to survive something like that. It could break. You could cut a strip.
Oh, it's sharp, hard, but brittle.
Yes, that's the one. So it's not perfect, but it's a perfect tool for the job that you want it to do.
Well, every knife is a combination between hard and brittle.
It's a toss-up. It's like a triangle. You know, you want.
You make it harder, you're making it more brittle. You make it less brittle, you're making it a little softer.
Yeah, and it
loses its edge.
Easy and loses its edge. Yeah. All sorts of trade-offs and stuff when it comes to the metal. But yeah, that's a very, very good knife. And they cost nothing. It's like £7 or something. Oh, hang on, look. This guy's got one here. Wish I could make that a bit bigger. Never mind. Oh, okay. I was just thinking about survival. Yeah. If you've got an extra knife, you could use it like that.
I think you can show. I think you can show videos, Laura. You just can't be on the panel doing that. That's why I told Jason, even though he wasn't really brandishing his gun on his live stream, I told him, I said I'd still be careful about wearing it on live stream, just because better safe than sorry. You know?
You know, if postage wasn't an issue, I would buy every single person on this stream one of those right now and just send it to them and say, there you go. See,
you can still buy it for me if you want.
Okay. Do you want one with a ferro rod in the sheath or not?
Absolutely.
You do? Okay.
No, I'm just kidding. You don't have to buy it.
Just
how many knives I got?
Well, let's turn that off.
Because legally here we can carry knives on us.
Okay.
I got a lot of knives.
Having knives in the UK is kind of context driven, I suppose. If you're a chef and you have it wrapped up in a sleeve, it's fine. If you're fishing,
no, here you can carry a big ass Bowie knife and they won't say nothing to you.
If you're walking through a shopping centre,
yeah, you can carry it
with a parang. You'll probably get pulled.
Now, guns are, you're not supposed to carry your gun in places that say that they don't allow it.
What if you walk across Tower Bridge with it?
Yeah. They will not like that. Unless you're a police officer and you're shooting.
Or was that the guy, or was he carrying a machete? I can't remember. That guy a few years ago.
Yeah. Well, one of them had a machete and the other one had a narwhal tusk trying to kill him.
Well, see, and when the UK got rid of, you know, pretty much not really banned guns because they're still around, but people just went to stabbing everybody at that point. They just switched weapons.
No. That's a mischaracterization. Here's the thing. You know, the UK had it good for a long time. The only reason why you got knife crime in London now is the criminality side of things. You know, they're just importing a lot of low IQ barbarians for some mysterious reason. No one knows why. No one asked for it, but it's bonkers. And a lot of them are kind of, I mean, gangs.
Right, but it's easier. What I'm saying is knives are more readily available to get your hands on than a gun is. I'm sure you get deep in the underworld of in the UK, you'll find guns all day long, but you know, your average criminal probably isn't going to find one as easy as
Yeah,
you know,
but
a knife.
the knife, let's say the abundance of knife is not a function of gun legislation. It just isn't.
No, I'm not
Yeah.
saying it is, but I'm saying is if you take one weapon out of a populace, they'll find something else to use.
Right.
And then
Well,
that
here's
could
the
become
thing.
more apparent to, of a
Sure.
problem.
If we had guns in England, the problem would be a lot worse simply because they'd have guns and knives. So the fact that England don't have guns is a good thing.
Hello.
I'm not anti-gun. I'm not anti-gun. I think in America, that Pandora's box is going to be very difficult to close, if at all. It may well be that you don't want to close it.
I don't.
America has to do the best for itself, but they're very different environments. England and the USA.
Well,
very different.
the problem is it's like the 1940s, right? If you remove something that's so ingrained into a society like they did with alcohol, all it does is create a huge underground black market, which is more dangerous.
Right. Yep.
Well, the argument is, do you have a right to self-defense? Do you have a right to protect your personal
I think
self?
that is a natural right that should not be given by a government. That should be
Right. That
controlled by a
is
government.
that is why it is enshrined in the Constitution. That's part of the reason why. Because
Right, so-
it's do you have a right to protect yourself? Okay. Do you have the right to protect yourself from
Property.
anybody? And does that include a corrupt government?
Right.
Right. That's where the
I mean,
militia comes
the
in.
reason it was enshrined is because you gotta just picture these guys had just fought a war of independence
Yeah.
from a government which they felt were corrupt.
And they were, by the way.
Oh yeah. I mean, it's
And
not
so-
like it's
well,
really changed, right?
Every government is corrupt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Okay.
I was about to say the same thing, Donald. Yeah, it hasn't changed.
Okay,
It's
not a problem.
we're just in a rerun. That's it. It's just a rerun.
It came out nice. You know, those are props like that. And then it screws stay in the little container right there on the side.
Oh, I'd love to take you to a shooting range, Michael. If you ever came over here.
Oh, I love it. I'm a very good marksman.
So the reason that was there is okay, they can protect themselves from anybody, and that includes the government. And so people say now that, well, they were thinking about muzzle loaders. They were thinking about this. They weren't thinking about modern weapons.
Right.
Well, those were modern weapons.
Right, at the time, yeah.
And so people say, well, then you shouldn't have rights to more modern weapons. And it's like, no, you should have the ability to
the
protect yourself
government
by any
doesn't
means
use-
necessary. That's what was
Yeah,
intended.
and I agree with you, Donald, because the thing is the government doesn't still use muzzle loaders.
Right. yeah, there
They
you go.
advance,
Right,
and so
exactly.
should the populace.
But then you have to visit, okay, well, that was then, this is now, and people look at it like, okay, well, we are a more civilized society. Is that necessary anymore?
I still think yes. Because if you go by that whole saying, history repeats itself, that's always a possibility. And plus, crime never goes away. It's even though the Western world is considered like, you know, the first world and a very civilized part of the world, there's always still threats to your life and crime and all that. And that never goes away, no matter how civilized you think a country gets, you know? So I don't know. I
don't
don't
know
think
either.
it should, but
And I'm more than happy to say, I don't know. You know, too many people are happy to just wing it when it comes to stuff, ideas. and they don't know how to say I don't know. For some reason.
I
Bizarre.
don't know what the right answer is, but I do know
That's it.
that if
That's
you
what I
are
am.
going to have any type of restriction on a person's rights, you really have to wait carefully and
Yeah.
probably side on individual rights versus societal rights.
Right, yeah.
And that's the problem, is everybody has their own opinion though too, so.
And that's
Morning,
good.
Dre.
Though. They should have their own opinion on it, but
Here comes Dre in with his opinion.
No,
yeah.
no,
Well, Dre's always got an interesting take on things. He's
Well,
also quite sensible.
Dre is a subgenre opinion of Donald, so.
Yeah. You're
See,
You're a
Don,
sensible
I
guy,
came
Dre.
in to give him a face-to-face pat on the back. I don't know if he saw my comment in the chat about four
hang on.
rows up. I was just totally shocked that Justin using big people words. That's why I asked. I said in the chat, I said, hey, did he stay at Holiday Inn Express last night? I'm just.
Hey, you watch it.
Yeah,
Watch it,
for
Dre.
fuck's sake.
That's my American friend you're talking about.
Using words like populist. I'm like, holy smoke. And he actually used it in the right context.
Right?
I didn't even register it. That he said it. It'd be kind of like, if your
Oh, here
dog
we
came
go.
into the kitchen and said, "Hello," you probably wouldn't even register it because it'd be so bizarre that your mind would not allow it to exist. You'd be
There
like,
it is.
the dog would have to say, "Excuse me, I said hello," for you to really freak out.
No, but
I couldn't help noticing.
sticking to the subject matter, this is where you get into the basic or classic fight for us in America. Is the Constitution a living document or not? 'Cause a lot of people, I always say when it fits their narrative, they want the Constitution to read as it was written. But when it doesn't fit their narrative, they want to make sure it evolves to support their narrative.
Yeah.
I will say the Constitution is a living document in the fact that the founders were smart enough to allow it to be amended. Reinterpretation without amendment is not. You can't reinterpret what somebody said or what they wrote based on new parameters. You have to base it based on what they wrote it as. If you want to change the Constitution, change it, but don't change what they said.
Well,
Yeah.
like
Context.
you
I think it's a
said,
great-
your
I think it's a
first
great document.
statement, Don, is that you make amendments to it, which we have done over the last 240 plus years.
Right. That's how it should be. That's how it should be a living document: is amending it,
Right.
not reinterpreting it.
Right. Right. Because
'Cause
there's
it's
been
clear.
plenty
It's clear enough what
plenty
it says.
decisions that have been made based on the original document that had to be amended, even like the rights to vote for different classification of people,
Yeah.
down to like you
Usual
say, even your
freedoms.
Miranda rights. People talk about the Bill of Rights. Well, guess what? Miranda didn't come about until the
That's recent, yeah.
1960s.
Well,
People think it was written back in 1776. I said, no.
Hmm.
This was in the 1960s.
Well,
about your
By the way,
Fourth Amendment stuff.
Raymond, I couldn't help noticing you spelt the word color wrong in your text. All right, shall I let you know?
Oh, we took out unnecessary vowels years ago.
no, but I mean, it's just like how, people here will say, well, there's other countries that are free, but are their rights the same as ours? Like you take freedom of speech, for example, right? In the UK and even Canada, hate speech is actually a thing that you can get in trouble for, where in the US, as long as you're not inciting violence, you can say all the nasty shit you want and
But of
they
course,
can't say anything to
The
you
hate
about it.
speech laws are only temporary. We're going to get rid of them because, unfortunately, the hate speech laws were put there by fucking idiots. And they shouldn't be there.
But my
And we're going to
point
remove them.
But my point is are you technically as free as us? If you think about little things like that are
No,
different.
you've just said it.
Right.
That dumb hate speech crap. Yeah.
Well, you got to look at a couple of different parameters there, Justin. America is the largest melting pot of cultures on the planet. Most of your
100%.
countries are, what's the word I'm looking for, Don, when it's a single culture?
Monolithic.
There you go. Thank you. when you have that, then it's easier to put certain things as far as what
Or,
is constitutional as hate speech and all that kind of
Heterogeneous. Heterogeneous would be a better word.
yeah,
Oh, that's
heterogeneous or
class.
what's the word, egomongous, whatever it is. But
Don's the sort of guy who would give the teacher an apple, isn't he? You know, God, it makes me sick. Sorry, go on, carry on, Drew.
that's what I'm getting to the point there where when you make up your democratic or democracy type rules and
What's up,
regulations,
TJ?
it's a lot easier when everybody is of one faith, one culture, one race. Then here in America, we have so many multiple races, cultures, and things of that nature that
Well, our
that's
homogeneity
why it
is
may
in
appear
our
that we have a lot more freedoms because it allows
humanity.
more people to be inclusive.
Right,
Homogeneous.
the
Homogeneous.
main-
There you go.
Your main
Homogeneous.
constitutional
That's
rights
the right for
allow,
homogeneous.
well, that's what I'm saying. So your main constitutional rights allow you to practice your own religions, your own beliefs,
Yep.
your
Freedom
own way
of
of
belief.
thinking.
Yes,
As long as it's not, like I said, especially with like freedom of speech, as long as you're not inciting violence, you can say whatever
Yep.
you want.
And that's fine.
You know, whether people believe in it or not. And I truly believe that even like I've said before, like the Westboro Baptist Church, some of you guys in the U.S. are familiar with them.
Yep.
Bunch of jackasses that go to
Yep.
soldiers' funerals yelling all
And
kinds of nasty shit.
besides,
I don't agree with anything they say, but I would never want to stifle their right to say it because then that opens up a box, Pandora's box, where everything gets censored. You know what I'm saying? As much as I don't agree with them, censoring them, I think, is worse than not censoring them. Just in my
Right.
opinion.
So like I said, you can look over several different countries around the globe and you can see where governments have set up rights or whatever, and some have just outright ran over the indigenous population to make them marginalized, like in Australia and New Zealand and a few other places where they were initially the minorities, but they were the ruling class, and now they have taken over and they have marginalized the indigenous peoples of those areas. And we
the
did the same thing
patronizing
here in
way in which they
America.
treat them is crazy.
Yeah.
Hate it.
And we did the same thing here in America from the start.
Every
Yes.
country's guilty of that
Yes.
at some point in
Every
history.
culture has done that.
At some point, yeah.
I would say the biggest issue now is here in America, we had an American culture. And in the past decade, 2 decades, we have been basically trained to think America didn't have an underlying culture. And all the other cultures that came in, they were good. They were just as equal and just as good, and let them do whatever. And there was no assimilation into the American culture.
Yep. Cultural
Even though
relativism is a nightmare.
Oh, dude, I
and
hate.
England.
Like I said,
And England is facing that really hardcore now. Is there was no assimilation
Yeah.
into the British culture, and so
Yeah.
Well, that's what
these
I-
past elections kind of prove that.
That's what
Yeah,
I hate about
absolutely.
when people over here say that America doesn't have culture. I'm look how influential it's been around the world. Pop
Yes.
culture,
Well,
music,
that's
I mean
true.
everything.
Well, we were a melting
Difference
pot.
of
Right.
our origins. Your origins is a hallmark of your culture. The reason why I say America has no culture because everything we have is a piecemeal of where everybody came from.
That's correct.
Yeah.
Including
cheeseburger
that-
is made out of
down
different
with its
parts.
ingredients.
But is that not
Yeah,
a
it's
culture in
part of our
itself? though?
language. The
It
base
is a
of our
culture in
language-
itself.
I say the base of our language is English, but we have words that have French origin. We have words
Right.
that have Latin origins
And that is
everything else.
and that's part of the melting pot where things are assimilated and the other cultures assimilate into the American culture, but we also adopt those things. But that
Right.
becomes part of the American culture.
'Cause
To
you-
come in and reject everything, that melting pot that came before, for
Some of the most
dominating from a foreign culture, that fractures the melting pot. It completely
Yeah.
ruins the dish.
But like
Right.
some of the most grateful people I've seen of the American standard of living and being grateful for it have actually been people that moved here from other countries and became citizens.
Yeah,
and
some.
they're
Then,
very
then there's others who come and they rejecting, like, well, talk about the British elections. If somebody runs for office and then pops up and says that they want to change the country to be more like wherever they came from, it's like, okay, that's an invasion.
Well, what I'm saying is like, so when like they were doing the whole DeSantis was signing the bill down in Miami for the Cuban museum and all that, and for the Bay of Pigs and all that, the monument and everything. You know, all these people that came from Cuba and that communist country, they said, you know, they were so grateful to be here, and they're telling people, you don't understand communism if you think that's a good thing. You know, they had
Right.
they're very grateful for being here because they've lived it, they know what it is, and they see the difference in the quality of living being here versus there.
Eastern Europeans Eastern Europeans were very grateful for the American culture.
Now, what you both are describing is a political view. A lot of Cubans didn't like the communist way of life or party or their rules and regulations, whatever you want to call it, your perspective. And same thing with people who came here from Eastern Europe in the late 1800s, early 1900s. But culturally, that's what you guys were talking about. Culturally, there's a lot of pushback against Cubans because people say, no, now you're in America, we want you to be Americanized.
Yep.
And the Cubans say, okay, we left the Castro regime, but we're still Cubans, and there's still a Cuban culture within us.
And I would like them to have their culture.
No,
and,
that's great.
and
That's
be
flavor, man.
themselves.
Those are spices, and,
Well,
and
like I
those are
said,
great.
We have learned to adapt the flavors and add that to our American culture.
Mhm.
But there are certain aspects of Americans who say, "Oh, you're an American now," just like you hear the thing, "Oh, speak American."
No, see, I'm not like that. See,
English should be the national language.
and
That type of attitude.
my whole thing is those people down there, though. Those would be the people that would probably get up and fight to protect America before some Americans would. You know, because
Well, like I say, that's the freedom of the rights that we have in America. You don't have to agree on the politics of our foreign policy.
Yeah, you can vote them out. You have
I don't think that you should
Right,
have to.
democracy.
I don't think you should have to speak English the entire time. But
No.
America is a predominantly English-speaking country. I think that official documents should be. I think we should have an official language
English.
for documents.
I agree.
Because if you don't, then you have the overhead
gets
of
complicated,
maintaining documents for every single language. And since we're a melting
Yeah.
pot, we have to keep documents for every single language and translate for every single language out there.
And we
Yeah,
do.
Yeah,
all
for every letter,
American
you have to-
I know. And that overhead
all
is
American
insane.
documents
We
should be
even have
written
that
for
for people
Manchu.
who are internally in America, like where Joe lives in Louisiana. There's some folks there who still speak Cajun.
Yeah.
Come
And
from
so
that
what's to
mixed-
stop somebody from saying, I will
French
only
and
communicate in Klingon,
and
so you need
Spanish
to
language.
translate these documents into Klingon for me because that's the only language I speak.
Right, exactly.
If you don't have an official language, what is the difference?
You're right. And we've had people try to push that narrative.
Mhm.
Just like
I
you're talking
mean-
about people who can marry who they want to marry.
Now,
what?
the one thing that does bug me is when I call something a customer service line, and the first thing they say is for English, press 1. I say, bitch.
see, it's kind of like how Louisiana stole Missouri's gumbo recipes. You know,
You see,
It's-
I don't mind calling
Wow,
a
you
service
said
line.
Louisiana
saying-
stole Missouri's gumbo.
yeah, Donald knows that Missouri started gumbo. They're the home of it.
Shut
Or,
up, Justin.
Yeah, I don't have a problem with
Hey,
a company
Greg, you
saying
can't
press
fix stupid.
1 or press 2
Hey,
for different languages. That is a private entity doing that, and they are allowed to do that all they want. But for official documents, for
Like
official
government
calls,
hotline you're talking
government
about.
hotlines.
like I say, Don, you go to the Social Security office, you will see a list of about 20 different languages that Social Security will print their documents out for you. And I say
But-
20 is a minimum. There's probably more languages on there and stuff that they will
But-
print. And the Social Security is about as much as national as you're going to get for getting official documents.
Should've-
And like I said, here in California, especially Southern California, regionally, because Spanish is the next largest spoken language, but we
Yep.
do have a large population of Vietnamese, a large population of Korean and Chinese, that you would get those languages spoken at the local level. I can take you places in Long Beach, in the north end of Orange County, in cities like Westminster, everything else that used to be predominantly Caucasian when I grew up, that are now completely Vietnamese. I'm talking about street signage, storefronts, everything is written in Vietnamese.
Yeah, Dre, I went and canceled my PO box the other day because they wanted $91 for 6 months, right? And I get like 3 pieces of mail there. So I said, well, no. I said, give me a change of address. They give me a change of address. I get home, it's in Spanish. I said, like, what the hell am I gonna do with this? You know?
It's not an English one on the backside.
They don't have.
Yeah,
They
but
got a word. The only word in here that I could recognize is use.
Well, Joe,
Yeah.
what did they hand that to you at the post office or what?
Yeah. Do I look
Well,
like
what you do,
here?
Joe, is you
Oh,
go back to the post
don't go
office
based on looks, Joe,
and you
because I've
say, "I
seen.
want to talk to the postmaster now."
well, see, when
Hey,
Joe gets
I have seen red hair, freckle face, full blown Latin
Oh, yeah.
people, dude. Speak Spanish like but he looked like he from Ireland.
well, when Joe gets excited and starts talking quickly with that Louisiana accent, it might have sounded like Spanish.
Hey, Joe,
You know.
my dad
I'm
was a
about to read.
postmaster and a sectional center manager for the U.S. Postal Service. You got to go to the top and get it straightened out.
Which one am I getting today? The mini duck? There you go. Oh, okay, the finger duck.
Precious
Yeah,
is
so-
vociferously complaining that you don't include dog language in there.
Think I'm gonna start keeping this within reach, or just keep it on.
Oh, every day I get a different one. It's either the gold finger, but he saves the large duck for really bad. You know?
Well, like I said,
Yeah, 'cause I gotta
look
work
at
to go get that.
our world today, and there's, I would say, fewer countries that are single culture, single race.
Yeah.
I mean, and most of those are Asian countries. I mean, not companies, but but you talk about the North Koreans, the South Korean. You talk about places like in Vietnam, you know, other places like that where it's just single one culture, one race.
Well, Japan.
Japan is, but they're getting a little bit of a mix.
You get a mix, but but still, as far as actually holding any property or anything,
Right.
and it's still a fairly monolithic
No, I
society.
would say the Philippines, they're definitely starting to get a larger influx of Americans moving there.
Well, the Philippines
So-
was mixed race way back in the, I want to say 1600s when Spain invaded it. And then when China, not China, but Japanese came around in the early 1900s. So they've been mixed for a while. That's why the language is so similar to Spanish. And then most of the people have Japanese features because of the mixing of the bloods.
Yeah, it's Portuguese rather than Spanish, but very similar.
Yeah. Well, Portuguese and Spanish is way different. Because you go down to Brazil, speak Spanish, they look at you like you lost your mind.
No, I did have a guy in electronics that
You got a
spoke
point.
Spanish. And when people from Brazil would come in, he could talk to them enough to understand what they needed.
Mm-hmm.
Like that, because he told me, he goes, it's similar, he goes, but some words mean different things. He goes, but I can talk to them. He'd be able to have enough conversation with them, like if they were looking for a phone charger or something like that.
It's kind of like the difficulty we have in understanding Michael.
Right.
No, Joe. Other Joe.
No, Joe. Yeah. Why I Joe?
Oh God, dude, don't get me started on him.
I tell you what I want y'all to do. Go have a couple of beers and then go on his live stream when they all get on there.
Joe's
try to
got
listen.
Joe's got the English version of the Southern accent, like deep Southern accent.
Well, I would say it's northern, of course. Well, it is northern. Geographically speaking, there's no escaping that.
Yeah, it's
Well,
more accent getting towards the Scottish border.
Well, I know
Yeah,
that, but
if
what
you
I'm
go
saying
right down
is,
south, if you go right down south and you end up with Cornish, that goes really strange.
no, I'm just see what I'm doing
Yeah,
is I'm just
more like
comparing it.
Louisiana and whatever.
I'm just comparing it to how hard it is to
Oh,
understand.
sure,
Like,
I know, but
deep Southern
England has
accents
the same thing.
can be hard to understand. So I'm comparing it to that, where you
Yeah.
would be like a you know a billionaire banker in New York City, right? Like that's Michael, right?
Yeah, I would.
No, I think the person who from England is hard to understand is the guy from Drone Seeker. What's it? Is it Terry? Got the real deep groggy
Oh yeah,
voice.
Terry. He's got a very
Uh,
West Country accent, and he's oh yeah, he speaks.
Yeah, he's like
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
the weird thing about that is that Terry actually lives in Spain.
Right, yeah, he does, doesn't he?
Well, he's originally from England though, but he lives in Spain now. But
Yeah.
just like Jackie, you know, you can still tell she has her British accent still.
Terry once said he said I can't read and I can't write, but that don't seem to matter because I come from the West Country and I can drive a tractor.
So it's a dip. Like I can say, you have a few countries. Like as I said, when you're making up your own government rules as far as what your people are allowing your people to do and don't, it comes into play of who your people are. You know.
Yeah, you want to listen to an accent like Terry's, you want to listen to a singing group called the Wurzels.
Oh, but it's crazy how some people lose their accent when they sing. Like the one I said before,
Yeah.
like the one that blew me away, and I didn't even know he was British for the longest time when I was younger, was Ozzy Osbourne. Because he didn't sound
He's got a
British when he
Brummie
sang.
accent.
Mhm.
Yeah,
But
he's around Birmingham area. Yeah,
but he has a very deep accent when you just hear him talking.
Right.
it's a Westlands black country accent.
But he loses it when he was on microphone, like you wouldn't hear it. Like I didn't know I thought he was American when I was little, and then later on in life I found out he was actually British. I was like, holy shit. I didn't know that.
His singing style.
Everybody seems to lose their accent when they sing.
Yeah, they tend to, don't they?
For the most part, I've heard a few bands from around the world that you can tell they're from wherever they're singing. But yeah, for the most part, yeah, a lot of people do lose their accent when they start singing.
What happened to Don? He left.
Don't know. But I agree with Don. I think you should have all your documents in your indigenous language, Comanche.
Oh, for fuck's
Oh
sake.
yeah, Wind Talkers. I remember that film. It's good.
Yeah, they were the decoders for World War II, right?
Yeah, it's a good story.
Because they would talk in their native language, and the Germans couldn't figure out what the hell they were talking about.
So Laura is playing Among Us on her live stream.
Oh,
Do you have that application, Paul? Do you have Among Us?
No, he doesn't have it.
It's kind of cool. It's a game where you play
I
a
don't
little
play
person.
games.
No? Bloody
Well,
hell.
I thought he was gonna say. I
Really?
thought he was saying humongous, and I thought, is that like a Mad Max reference game or what?
Oh yeah, as in humongous. Yeah, no,
Humongous.
Among Us.
Oh, that
Among
reminds me. I
Us.
need to
Humongous.
download that.
Yeah, Among Us. 2 words.
Mm. Yeah, it does sound that way.
That's Steam that I got
It's
it on.
like Pluto online.
Kind of, yeah. But the person is walking around doing the murdering. Very cool. But it's an old game. They've souped it up a little to try and make it a bit more interesting. And I'm not sure whether or not it's added anything to the game. It could have
How
destroyed
many
it.
gigs is that? Oh wow, that's a small ass game. It's only 657 megabytes.
Hmm.
You know, Bill downloaded it and paid for it.
Well, Laura and David gifted me and Tim the game because it was $5 on PC. I was just gonna play
Okay.
on my phone because it's free on the App Store on your phone.
Right.
Then they just randomly bought me and Tim a copy yesterday. So.
I thought, Justin, that you knew how to download it for free.
Oh,
was
I
under
could
that
have went
impression.
through BlueStacks, but BlueStacks is a little finicky sometimes. Because
Okay,
what you
well,
can do is download BlueStacks on your computer, and then you can run Android apps through it.
all right.
But
Well, can you tell Bill how to do it? Because Bill will be able to get that.
Bill knows
refunded.
about BlueStacks.
Oh, does he? Okay. I'm just saying you could.
But it
save
was
him
only a $5
$5.
game. I'm
Right,
sure
yeah.
Bill's not worried about that. To be honest with you.
Sure. I'm a bit of a tight ass. I would get that $5 back.
It's only
Yeah.
the cost of coffee.
I don't think Bill really cares, to be honest.
Hey, Justin,
What?
I'm about to run off and have one of your favorite.
Taco Bell, Del Taco?
No.
No.
Well, this week is supposed to be public works week, but our city manager decided to make it public service week for all the employees in the city. So we're having breakfast burritos today.
Ooh.
Huh?
Hey, Dre, if you're ever down in the Barstow area again, stop at Plata's and have that really good Mexican food. They've been there for years and years. They have like 3 or 4 locations in Barstow.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, they have really good
My
food.
wife keeps bugging me every time we go to Vegas to stop at the outlet mall. So I don't know. We may have to stop one of these times.
That'll just cost you lots of money.
I know. That's why. That's when I get near it, Mark.
That's
I just press the accelerator a little bit harder. I just keep on rolling.
Yeah, speeding fines are cheaper than going to outlet stores.
Yeah. And I always tell her, I said, you want to go, get with your sisters and y'all make a day trip of it. I said, why you gotta drag me involved in all this kind of nonsense?
Because you're the one with the wallet.
Well, it ain't so much that. I'm the chauffeur and the bag carrying guy. That's the problem.
Well, buy her a shop.
Call you Uber.
One of the shopping bags, wheels on the bottom of it.
Damn.
Why does
Joe,
Among Us?
did you see where I got sponsorship from Air Data?
Nope.
There you go. That's pretty good.
Yeah, they allow me to offer out a 20% discount for anybody who wants to subscribe for their services.
What is it? Air Data.
Yeah, Air Data.
That's
What happens if you're already a subscriber?
It's for professional flight.
When you renew it for next year, you use my promo code, you'll get 20% off.
Or cancel
Well, I'm
your.
on a monthly basis.
Well, cancel it and then
I pay mine yearly.
use
I might have to, where's your code at?
what you should do.
Recovery One Drone 20.
Okay.
So what you need to
I'm gonna
do,
go
Joe, is cancel your subscription, use it up for the rest of the month, and then when you re-sign up for it, use Dre's code.
Is it 2 words? Oh, I got it. It's one word, isn't it? Air Data UAV.
Donald, did you get that link I forwarded to you from Joe yesterday?
Yes.
Okay.
I responded to you.
There is a free version of it.
Hold on.
Site block.
Yeah. I'm downloading it now. Thank you, Mark. I'm downloading it. Have you got it too?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you did.
I'm guessing you have to be
It keeps all your flight log.
My guess it's only for
it's a
students.
digital flight log book, but it goes a lot deeper than just your flight logs. It can check your batteries. It lets you know about maintenance on your drone.
Oh, nice. Okay, that's good to know because I don't have that.
You connect it to your DJI account, and it automatically shoves everything across.
Yeah, when
I
you,
don't have any DJI gear. I've got a flight case with a Futaba radio in it, and I use fixed wing and a couple of drones. That's what I do.
It supports probably the largest amount of drones in any other program.
So I've got Drone Buddy and Drone Assist. That's what I've got, and that's what I use.
So
thank you, Marine. It just dropped me from $14.99 a month to $11.99 a month.
So Donald, now that Joe's on the panel again, So what happened with that link you said? It
Oh, no,
blocked you?
it was blocked. Hold on,
What link?
I'm sorry. I'm looking here. I got to replace my APC battery.
That link you sent for the contest, you said it blocked him for students only? Says or something?
No, it was blocked.
Oh,
it
because
blocked
it's
me.
for people that only have an account with them, I'm guessing.
That's what I'm
right?
Yeah, you
thinking.
gotta have an account
Yeah,
with the community.
okay.
That's what you
Yeah.
gotta have.
Okay. Okay. Alright. So that's why.
The
Yeah.
Pilot Institute one.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
I'm just like,
yeah. You had to have bought the program in order to be in the contest, but
If Don
Donald
wins, Joe's never going to forgive him.
Donald already has a 107, so it'd be no point in him buying a $150
Yeah.
class. So
Mhm.
not unless he just wanted like a renewal class to look into once a year, but it's still that's a lot of money.
I passed the test without a class. Why would I need to?
No, I'm just saying if you wanted it for like just to keep update videos and be able to
Yeah.
that'd be the only good thing it'd be.
I keep relatively up.
Thing is,
What's
though,
that?
Donald,
what?
aren't you a professional videographer though? Would it not be? Is it? I mean, are you allowed to join the competition?
Photography
as a
competition.
professional?
Oh, gee, I don't know.
Either that or he's too overqualified for the
I didn't see any
competition. That might be
I
it.
didn't see any rules. But
What class are you talking about?
Pilot Institute's doing a contest where you get a $250 gift card to Amazon if you win their picture contest. You submit a
okay.
photo.
Oh, okay.
But it is for amateurs, so it explains why Joe would be doing it.
Okay.
Is it though? Is it for amateurs? It might be for anyone. I hope it's
No,
not for
I'm
anyone
tempted,
anyway.
I'm tempted to take their mapping class. Not that I think he's going to teach me anything, but if my thing is, if it gets me a certification, I'll still take it.
Damn it, I didn't get the big duck.
I need to talk to somebody there. Says, okay, when I finish this course, what do I get to show that I took your course?
Do I have to like multi-layer the insults to get the big duck, Joe?
I'm working on it.
He said, "You working on it, huh?"
Yeah, I'm working on it. Trust me. Yeah.
I think when you take the, don't you get a lifetime membership of the Pilot Institute anyway?
Well, it's I think when you take the 107 class, you get lifetime updates.
Yeah.
On the 107.
I'm gonna jump off. I'll go hang out.
They
with Laura,
have
keep her
several
company.
classes for drones
Yeah,
and
I'll join
also
you in a
for
minute,
manned aircraft.
I'll catch y'all later.
Like I
Yes,
said,
but
I've
the
seen
truth
them
is-
have the best price for the mapping course, but my thing is, what is it? I mean, I've been doing mapping for 3-4 years now. So my thing is, okay, they might teach me one or two things, but at the cost level, almost $200, what am I really getting out of it that's going to hold something in my pocket? You know,
Yeah.
my thing is, you got to give me a certificate, some kind of accreditation, something that's going to be recognized when I step in the door with somebody else.
Yeah, true.
When I got my infrared course that Daryl set me up with, I got a certificate. It says I'm category 1 certified in infrared technology. So that's my whole thing. I said, where is it going to get me to the next level?
That means you can use television remote controls properly.
Yes. And believe
Fly
me,
big
I use that on my
airplanes.
wife. I say, hey, I'm the one qualified here. Just relax. Yeah. That's why I always laugh at her when she talk about, people driving the street and stuff. And I got to explain, I said, remember, I'm the one that was a cop. So I think I'm a little more qualified than you.
Okay, I'm going to go, guys. I'm going to go and play video games with Laura.
Okay.
Take care.
Well,
Thank
I
you,
think
Paul. I'll
I'm
see you
a
soon.
tiptoe out too and go get me a breakfast burrito and probably orange juice.
I may go spend $100 on a battery.
Yeah,
I sit here, I complain about this APC battery being $100, but it's like, yeah, how much is a drone battery?
No kidding.
Right.
You get a bargain.
I'm sitting here if I put it in perspective, it's okay, but man, I hate shelling it out.
Just for curiosity here, is it possible you could take a tool, remove those probably 18650s all stacked up, desolder them, and then put new ones in? Put your own 18650s in. Do you know what I mean?
if you
That
watch,
wouldn't cost you very much.
Then I have to figure out what my hourly rate is and see if that adds up to more than $100.
Sure, but with a Dremel, it's going to take what, 20 minutes. I don't know. You're right, though. You're probably right.
Yeah, it would take 20 minutes plus the purchase of those cells.
Yeah, batteries. No, okay, yeah, you got
Yeah.
a point.
have you ever watched Caroline Tyler?
Powerline
Caroline
Tyler?
Yeah, she lives in Bradford in Yorkshire. She flies drones, but mostly fixed wings and stuff. And she makes her own, and she actually makes her own like 4S batteries from 418-650s.
I think I have heard her actually.
And welds them, well, solder welds them together, kind of thing, all sorts of things like that. Really clever girl.
I saw a guy make an electric bike and made his own battery packs for the bike.
But it caught fire.
So yeah, I'll just take this battery in and exchange it.
You get any money back for exchanging it?
I don't know. I don't know if they do a core charge or not. Like you do on a car battery.
Thing is, they should be able to recycle all the lithium, whatever is in there.
And we get back for car batteries.
Because there's nothing wrong with the lithium. It's, lithium's lithium.
Even though they've got a lead content, they won't pay us any money for giving our old battery back.
Hmm.
I believe this is lead acid.
Is it extremely heavy?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Okay. Yeah, it's going to be lead acid.
Yes, it is a non-spillable lead acid battery.
Yeah, maintenance free, call it, I think, don't they?
Yep.
And now I am trying to encourage you to Dremel the fucking thing open. Oops.
But
yeah.
What am I doing?
What is an AD?
Don, just dig into it.
Be all right. Never mind. Try it, Don.
You know what? It'd probably be easy to just break it apart if instead of starting with the Dremels, just start with a nail and a hammer.
Yes.
Yeah.
A big hammer.
To start the split.
Yeah. And none of this precision hammering. You need to swing at it wildly.
With a, yeah.
With music playing in the background. Like Tom Jones.
Earlier when I disconnected.
Video, because it'll go viral on YouTube.
We'd had a power spike and everything went down. I had to restart, and it's like this should have prevented that.
Yeah. So uninterruptible power supply is what it is, isn't it? Is that what it's supposed to be?
It's it's supposed to. If you have power surges, it's supposed to condition as well and keep you from just everything dropping.
Yeah, I got one like that underneath here. It gives me about 30 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
They're pretty smart the way they work.
I've actually got a couple of them, but neither of them are working.
It's pretty similar to a leisure battery in a motorhome and a caravan.
Yeah.
And
right.
they've got to lithium ion on those, so I'm pretty sure they probably will do that for them, but you'll be spending more like $800-900 on one of them.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
It's heavy too. It's expensive and heavy. I've had a couple incidents where I've had power knocked out and the only thing left with the computers running. So I'm able to at least come up here and shut them down.
Yeah, not the idea. Right, I'm out of here. Have a seen you. See you later, boys and girls. Bye-bye.
See you there, Michael.
So now I gotta figure out, I gotta take a good picture of each duck and make some kind of duck picture, so when Justin gets like stupid, you know, I can do a screen share of the multiple duck picture. Might do a picture like a pond. They have all the little ducks swimming in the pond, you know, flipping them off.
Well, just take individual pictures and turn it into a slideshow.
Well, I might have them swimming around the duck. I might have it into a little short, like have them swimming around the pond, you know? Yeah, that might be it. That's had me a production. Oh man, I want to go fly today, but I don't know if I'll be able to. I can see the trees. I can see the trees blowing out there. God darn it! Come on, wind.
No, we've got very little wind today, fortunately, by the looks of it.
11:27. That has been for a week now. We've been having like 27 gusts.
11 miles an hour.
You know, it's like
Ours is 11 with 21 gusts.
yeah, I've been still flying in it. Like yesterday, I was out with Johnny, and Johnny was it was funny because I was his VO. I really was, and he was flying the Avata 2, and he was flying it, and he was saying he was getting high wind velocities, and I said it's perfectly level. I'm watching it; it's perfectly level. So he was getting the high wind warnings, but the drone was not tilting. It was flying normal. And I said, it surprised me, you know, because I thought it would be tilted.
I always have my UAV forecast set to 200 feet because I think, well, it's a waste of time knowing what the wind is at ground level.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I want to know what it's like up there.
Well, the other day I had mine. I don't even know what mine says. Probably ground level. The other day we were getting gusts. That's when we shot that property, 34-mile-an-hour gust, and you could see the trees. The trees were doing this, so it was blowing, you know. And that's when Dave came out with the Holy Stone, and he said, "Yeah, you're gonna be able to fly the Mavic 3?" I said, "Yeah, I can do that." And we got it up to about 21 feet, and it was just kind of hovering. And he said, "Man, I'll put mine up there. It'd be all over the place." I said, "Yeah, you need to go put it in a trash can." Like that. And he just looked at me kind of funny. And he said, "Yeah, but you're not that high. Look at the top of the trees." I said, "Okay." So I went up to 400 feet and showed him the video and how it's perfectly still. You know? And I said, "Now look at the drone. You can see it. Does it look like it's bouncing around?" He goes, "It doesn't." So now he's got a Mini 3 Pro. He went and bought a Mini 3 Pro. You know?
Okay.
And he's going to kick himself because I got to give him a call today. I'm going to say, "Look, you got it at Best Buy refurbished. You got the one drone. You got the drone, the good controller, and you got the RC1, and you got the one battery. Got one battery. What he got? And it ran him right at $600, right? Costco has a special on right now. The Fly More kit with the RC1 for $600.
Tell him to take it back to Best Buy. And
I'm gonna tell him bring Best Buy back and go to Costco. Now we don't have a Costco here. There's one in New Orleans. So I'll drive the lake and go save you money. Get you the 2 batteries because we're building a Costco that's going to be open. They said by the end of the summer.
Mm-hmm.
And boy, I cannot wait for it to open up here. Because the one in New Orleans, you're muted. You're muted, Paul. Yeah, the one in New Orleans is in one of the worst neighborhoods in the world. They had people going there getting gas there a couple of years ago. They would drive in to get gas, and while they were pumping gas, people were stealing the cars, were jumping in the thing and taking off with the cars.
I should never leave your ignition key in the car.
Oh, you got a point.
Mm-hmm. But well, I'm gonna go and get this battery replaced. So I will talk to you guys later.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Later.
See you, Don.
We're dropping like hotcakes.
Yeah. Yeah, I should really contact DJI before they shut again. Though I think I'm probably left it too late.
Okay, everybody, we're gonna go. Joe, stay out of trouble.
Yeah, that's good.
Mark, I'm not gonna tell you to stay out of trouble because that's your middle name is Trouble. So, okay.
Yeah, occasionally. Yeah.
Okay, everybody. We'll see all of you
All right.
again later
Then.
tonight.
Video.
See you later.